to the rhythm and the groove. Move, move. Alright, I make me tell you listen. Move, move. We a dance to the rhythm and the groove. Move, move. Watch them massive and groove, them a move. So we chop it, so we do it. This a rhythm I lock down the street. So we chop it, so we do it. This a when you come feel lock down the street. Alright, so we chop it, so we do it. Lock down and we a lock down the street. So we chop it, so we do it. This a when you come feel lock down the street. All I'm full of it, go play back again. And everybody say yeah, 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 yeah. All I'm full of it, go play back again. See them tackle up the big tune. All I'm full of it, go play back again. And everybody say yeah, 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 yeah. All I'm full of it, go play back again. See them tackle up the big tune. All I'm full of it, go play back again. And everybody say yeah, 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 yeah. All I'm full of it, go play back again. See them tackle up the big tune. All I'm full of it, go play back again. And everybody say yeah, 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 yeah. All I'm full of it, go play back again. See them tackle up the big tune. So we do it. This a rhythm I lock down the street. So we chop it. So we do it. This a when you come feel lock down the street. Alright, so we chop it. So we do it. Lock down and we a lock down the street. So we chop it. So we do it. This a when you come feel lock down the street. All I'm full of it, go play back again. And everybody say yeah, 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 yeah. All I'm full of it, go play back again. See them tackle up the big tune. All I'm full of it, go play back again. And everybody say yeah, 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 yeah. All I'm full of it, go play back again. See them tackle up the big tune. All I'm full of it, go play back again. And everybody say yeah, 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 yeah. All I'm full of it, go play back again. See them tackle up the big tune. All I'm full of it, go play back again. And everybody say yeah, 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 yeah. All I'm full of it, go play back again. See them tackle up the big tune. rhythm and the groove. Move, move. Alright, I make me tell you listen. Move, move. We a dance to the rhythm and the groove. Move, move. Watch them massive and groove, them a move. So we chop it, so we do it. This a rhythm I lock down the street. So we chop it, so we do it. This a when you come feel lock down the street. Alright, so we chop it, so we do it. Lock down and we a lock down the street. So we chop it, so we do it. This a when you come feel lock down the street.
Wow, what's up with the camera? That ain't right. Holy crow. I gotta work that stupid camera out. Alright, folks, hang on. I gotta work the camera. It's not right. Nor I can't hear anything either, so. The camera's jacked. Give me a second. Let me get the sounds going. Can't hear anything either. So I'll get the sounds going. Can you hear me? That's number one. Hopefully you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me on this thing. I've got the camera. I've got to redo. Well, we got about 5 minutes to go in the hockey game, and it's it's close. So I'm just gonna kind of mess with this camera. Let me know if you can hear me. I don't know why the camera's doing what it's doing, but it's doing it. So let's see if we can't get it to work here. Okay, that's the one I want. Filters. It's just jacked up. Like I don't know. It's fine on the screen, but it's not. There we go. Let's try that right there. Okay, we'll see how that works. I don't know, folks. All right, can you hear me? Check, check. Let me know if you can hear me. Right now in the hockey game, it's 4-3. Rangers are winning. It's 5 minutes to go in the third period, and they just had a penalty against them. So we've got. Is there anything new on the CRJ? Yes, there's. We're doing. Max, we're doing training right now for it. Are you? There's a lot of new proving flights that I've done out west for the CRJ. We got a couple CRJ routes opening up. All right, so in front of me, first of all, let me get this camera out of the way for you. Sorry, it just thought it was all good to go. The camera just decided to be stupid. So what we got here, folks, if you're just joining us, we're about three things: do it right, learn something, have fun. Welcome to, hey, John, what's going on, man? How are you? Welcome to the FSBN channel. This is our last road game of the season, folks. We're done with the regular season after this. It's been a long season and we're done. So, which is awesome. We have one more charter run to do next week where we've got booked down to Sarasota. One of you, our viewers, reached out to us on Instagram and said, hey, I'm taking a company. I would like you guys to take our company up from Sarasota to Baltimore. So that's what we're going to be doing. I'll show you that stream. We're going to be actually flying the 900 down there because the MD-80 has 60 people, it's configured for VIP. So we're going to be flying this 900 down and doing that. I hope you guys are doing well. You could see what we're looking at. We've got a pretty short one. The Rangers are still playing, so it's in the third period. We're going to be in the briefing room just like this. This is kind of what we would be doing. Kind of watching the game on the side here, which I do. I have it right in front of me. I've got to watch this thing. So we're going from Detroit, and we're going to head over to right over in this area. And you can see this weather is starting to drop in. It's forecasted to get kind of crappy. It should be good to go, but before, when we get there, you got this low pressure systems, this counterclockwise rotation, everything's driving down. New York and Long Island, they had an earthquake earlier. It was like 4.2 on the Richter scale. That's usually never happens out there. So it's pretty scary when you're in an earthquake. I've been in one 5.2 or something like that. So, relatively low, but still it's freaky when the whole ground starts shaking on you. It's kind of weird, especially if, New Yorkers are not used to that kind of thing. So anyway, it's interesting, but there is plates there, the whole tectonic plates, Appalachian mountains up here, they're all because of ripples, because of obviously the plates moving, it causes uplift and you get all that stuff going on. Oliver, you said we had an earthquake. So how was it? It's really weird, right? That's kind of weird when you're sitting there, you're like, wait, what's that? Things are moving. Whoa, nice save. So Jonathan Quick just made a huge save. 4 minutes to go in this game. So I'm kind of watching this out of my my eye here. 4-3 Rangers are winning. Rangers need to win this. We got to kind of pull away from Boston, and it's so it's clogged up in the President's Trophy, President's Cup. The Detroit Red Wings are playing for their lives. The Rangers are not. They're just playing for their President's Trophy. So that's kind of what's on the line for the Rangers. It's not much, but it is for the Detroit Red Wings. They're really trying to hang in. They're playing for their playoff spot, which selfishly I hope they don't win. I hope that we beat them. I want the Islanders to get in because then the Rangers won't have to fly anywhere. So selfish reasons. I don't have to take him anywhere. It would be awesome. I get that 2 weeks off or whatever. That'd be really cool. Oh, here we go. Come on, put it away. Put it away. Oh, nice save. Okay, so Rangers just coming in. They a nice shot on goal there, and it was a save. I'm sorry. I'm digressing. All right, so let's go to products. Let's take a look at our TAF report here. TAF data. Let's just plug in HPN. I'll show you folks, and I'm not messing around here. So you could see where the weather. We're going to be in about about this range. Hour before, hour after. It's like right in here. 31010, gusting 18. Visibility is great. It might be a little bit gusty. Expecting 3-4 on the runway. But weather-wise, we don't need an alternate, so we're not going to take one, which is good. There is some precipitation turbulence over this area. You can see as we bring this thing up about 27,000. You can see just kind of we're going to be in the climb here. We'll get it, and then we'll kind of relax a little bit, and then on the descent, we'll get it again. So shouldn't be too bad. All right, 2 minutes and 47 seconds to go before this game is over, folks. John says, I just remember not knowing how strong the quake could get. That was the craziest part of my mind. Yeah, it is. I mean, when you go through like a 5.2 or even a 4.2, and these things can go up to 7 or 8, you can't even fathom. Like you realize nothing could stand at that, when it gets that strong. There's no way. So anyway, weather-wise, it looks good. We've got, I hope you guys got a good idea what it's doing. Yeah, we got this low and occluded right there. It's gonna, we got some good tailwind. So we'll get out of Detroit, and Detroit weather right now. Let's give you get to the METAR. I'll give you Detroit's weather so we can get a good look at Detroit. Okay, Detroit weather is 10 statute miles. 040 at 9 or 10 miles visibility, scattered at 6, broken at 8. Really nice. It was actually raining when I flew in here yesterday. We flew in yesterday. It was raining. Of course, members will see that, and patrons will see that. All right, so you can see the aircraft is ready to go. And there's a couple things I have to do first. One, we're going to get in here, and we're going to load in the actual... I'm going to actually load a panel state to the correct one, which is 904. And it's going to go cold and dark on us because this is a cold and dark jet. So we would arrive to this, obviously we're good on that. There's a couple things I need to start before we get the show on the road. And so Max said theoretically would be an earthquake. Would an earthquake cause wind shear? No, probably not. But I don't. You bring up a good question. Who knows what it could do, right? I mean, I don't think the science is good enough to know what it would do to the Earth's atmosphere, So that's interesting. It's an interesting thought. Anyway, we're gonna hook that up. There's a couple things we're gonna start. We're gonna start our servers. And Sean, I do need your help. Oh, nice save. Quick had a nice save. Rangers got the puck, and they're trying to get it out of the zone. We got a minute left. It's 4-3, and it's an empty net on the other side. So the Rangers got to clear the zone here. Hang on, folks. We've got 59 seconds. I'm not going to do anything until this game is over. So stay with me here just for a minute. We got 59 seconds to go. The Rangers are pinning the puck on the board. Detroit's got it. Oh, it was an open net, and they just missed the puck. So 46 seconds to go. Detroit's got possession again, and they just shoved it in. Oh, nice deflection. Rangers are trying to get it. Rangers are staying in a square box, trying to get it. Oh, no stick. So the Rangers kicked it out of the zone. He didn't have a stick, so he's going back to the bench. They're clearing the. I think the Detroit Red Wings have one really last rush. Got 24 seconds to go here. They dumped the puck in. And I got to tell you, I can't show you this because of a YouTube thing, but Detroit's got the puck deep in the Rangers zone right now. And they're just trying to get it. Oh, get it. Nope. Rangers do not have possession. Now they do. Get it in that net. Put it away. Yes. That's it, baby. Game over. All right, Rangers won 4-3. Jonathan Quick with the win. They're going to be getting on the bus. They'll meet us over at the aircraft. So it was a good game. We'll take them. All right, now let's fly them out of here. Sorry, I had to do that. Come on, this game is close. All right, so we just got word. Obviously, we've been watching that the game is over. They're going to be hitting the showers now. And yes, they will be coming out to the aircraft. So we'll meet them at the airplane and all that stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on at Coastal, folks. We opened the Hawaiian route. So we got that open. We opened another route going to Hawaii. We've got, oh, you stupid thing. Is that not on? Did I not turn that thing on? I hit myself in the head with a light. I don't know if I did turn that on, folks. It's on. Okay, so you see this GF 166. That just means that there's an issue with one of my panels. So I've just got to get that fired up. And how to do that is just a couple things. I just got to go flight really quick. All right. Actually, I think I know what I'll have to do. I'll have to do it on this side. So, how have your week? Is everybody's week going well? I hope it is. There's a lot of neat stuff we've got going on. We can try this. I'm going to try this one more time of getting this going here. Kind of a pain in the butt when it does this to me. It's really not a big issue, but it could be. So what I'm going to do is open this, and you'll see. When you have these panels, you can see right here, like these panels won't connect. And that's kind of where we're at with this. So I should have 14. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm missing one. So we're missing one panel. Looks like a 166 panel, which is going to be one of my comms. Yeah, it's out. One of the comms is out. So what I'm going to do, there's one thing you can do is I'm going to try this. Hey, Pops, what's going on? Shelton says, why did the bunnies go on strike? They wanted better salary. That's awesome. You were watching the game? I was definitely watching the game. I'm glad it's over. And the Rangers took the win. We'll take it. Detroit played a good game. Let's see if that did it. Did that do it? Nope. So we might have one panel out. That's fine. I'll have to just... Sean says, hey, what's up, Sean? How are you? That's pretty funny. Anyway, so hopefully all you New Yorkers are okay that got that earthquake. It's never happened. I mean, it's very rare that an earthquake hits New York. All right, I'm going to try this again. Again, we just got the call that we would be sitting here, we'd come to the aircraft just like that. They're going to be in the showers. I'll be heading over the airplane here shortly. So we'll probably be meeting them with the real aircraft, actually. Let's try this one more time. So go flight, interface tool. Let's see if it's going to work. We definitely have one panel not missing. That's fine. Let's see what happens. See this red? It went green. Good. Let's just slide that over there. All right. Everything is good to go here now. I could take that and go full screen. I can't see a darn thing in the cockpit yet because, well, it's dark. So let's go in the overhead. We're going to take a look. A couple things we're going to do. We do not have any ground power on the aircraft, so we're going to have to start this airplane old school. Well, not old school, but I'm going to throw the bat on. Okay. We'll see APU there, negative 37 volts. It's normal. I'm going to go ahead and throw this to dim so we get some lighting out on the aircraft. We're going to look at the gear. Gear is down, 3 is green. Now we're just going to test everything. So I'm just going to do an APU fire test really quick. Okay, 1, 2, 3 APU, good. You want to do this before you start the APU. The only thing that you don't have is a wheel well fire warning because you don't have any AC on the aircraft. So let's go and start the APU now because we're draining battery. So we're going to come down to the APU panel here and I'm going to throw it to start. All right, that's going to get it going. I'm going to throw a fuel pump on and we'll get that going. Scary there at the end. I'm sure it was. It was, Shelton. Holy cow. You heard me. I was doing commentary. You're like, oh, dude. Sean says, seems like no one wants that second wild card position in the East as the Penguins fan. Every team ahead of us lost tonight. Really? Okay, 2 points behind the Islanders and Philly. I wish I knew the breaking scenarios. Right. So this is fun. You heard what I want. I want the Islanders to win because I think the Rangers. Who are the Rangers playing? Are they going to play Washington or are they going to play the Isles? I think they play the Islanders. Or that second wild card position we would play. Because top team in the NHL would play that team. Here comes the HC Power. Which, selfish reasons I want that to happen is because, like I said, I don't have to fly, which is great. I mean, it's not good for money. It's bad for us. And by the way, our charter department is just keeping us afloat the entire winter, by the way. These flights, they really keep us afloat throughout the winter. The line flying is pretty rough. It's been kind of a famine with our line flights right now. So the charters are what's doing it. All right, when we come down here, just going to get some lighting on the aircraft. Get ready for the players to come in. Max says, I remember back when AAL pilots were on strike and would taxi at 2 knots. Yeah, that's kind of rough. That's a little rough, man. There's no way. I'll pull the brake. Okay. Good. We got good power on the aircraft now, folks. I'm going to shut those lights off. Go outside. This is a 900. We are sitting here in Detroit. Beautiful scenery over in Detroit right now, so that's going to be fun for us. We'll be flying this out of here. Detroit, quick flight. I'd say about an hour and 30 minutes, maybe even less than that. I think I booked in an hour, like yesterday was an hour 40 minutes, so it was quick getting here. All right, let's go ahead and get this done. FMC, we've got a 900. Winglets, 27,000 pounds. We're going to go ahead and click this. We're going to just type DTW. That's Detroit. We're going to drop that in there. Good stuff. And another thing that I want to solicit everybody here, I want to know what you guys want to see. We're going to have a good break. We're going to have a good week and a half break, maybe 2 weeks break before we actually travel somewhere. It depends on who the Rangers play. So that is going to be great. So I want to know what you folks want to see. Like I said, we're doing we have to do a charter run because we've got booked. By the way, if you want to book us, we're going to be book on the charter department. You can do that. Just reach out on Instagram and say, hey, we have that coming. It's going to be from Sarasota. I've got to position this 900 after this flight. We're flying down to Sarasota, getting the aircraft ready to go. We're going to be taking a company up to Baltimore. That's going to be next week. So you'll see that next week on the stream, and that should be fun. Sean says, Penguins are second and first the Islanders, and they play each other in the last game of the year. Pittsburgh also has more regulation wins in the Isles, so the Pens would make it before the Isles. Dang. Well, I'm hoping the Islanders make it. That's kind of where I want. That's just for selfish reasons. Anyway, let's go to airports and let's take a look at our weather. How's that? Weather right now is ATIS, real world ATIS. I'm going to write this all down. We've got right now 040 at 9, 10 statute miles visibility. So I'm going to actually do this old school, if you can believe it. I'm actually writing on a clipboard because my iPad I was watching the game with it. All right, 040 at 9. And we've got scattered clouds. at 060. That's another thing, folks. If you're, let's say you're interested in Coastal, there's something that we're going to do to get more people, because I think there's a barrier to entry with training, with hours. If you have if you have 50 hours on VATSIM and you don't mind being type locked into a CRJ, please apply, and we might hire you in the CRJ. And the training, you still have to do training in that, but it's not as intensive as the 737 training. Plus, you could be Coastal, and then you could obviously upgrade into the 73 eventually. So when you get your hours in with us and you fly, but you could potentially do that. That's one thing you can do, so you don't have to jump into that long training. It's probably 3 videos that you have to do. John has a series of flows that we sit you through. You watch, go through the flows, and then you do some air work and stuff like that. It's not very major. It's nothing like the 737 is. So definitely take a look at that. 3 left, 4 right, 3 right, 4 left. So 3 left, 4 right. I think we're going to try to do 4 right out of here, because that is closest to us. No, it's not. How about 3 right? That's going to be closest to us. So 3 right is the airport, but they're not departing that. They're departing 3 left, which is the next best runway we can get. So 3 left is probably what we're going to do. Let's plan on 3 left. We'll go to arrivals, departures. Departures are in there. We're just going to plug in 3 left for now, and I got to look at my sim brief, stuff like that. Shelton says, love the 2-hour video on the flows and setting up a flight on Patreon. Okay. Also, the F-14 video is amazingly awesome. Well, I appreciate that, Shelton. That was good. You know, if you're watching, you're following the F-14. It's something different, right? If you're like, I want to know, what's Jason doing with this F-14 crap, because it is hard. It's not as easy. You can see my struggle through the process. Only a 15-minute show, but those 15 minutes, you gotta, you get every maneuver right. And I just released one today. I release one every week until the air show. The air show is starting. We have until May 11th, so you're going to see a new video every week get released. Not a big deal, maybe 20-30 minutes of practice. But hopefully, as you start to see those videos, you start seeing a better show, right? More precise turns and more precise maneuvering as I get used to the aircraft. So that's my hope. And then I hope we can put it all together, and it's going to be fun, because the show is probably only going to be about 8 minutes when it's all edited and stuff like that. You won't see any of the repositioning, in the cockpit and stuff like that. You're really going to be a spectator. So it's going to be fun for you, I hope. Sounds are going to be cool. Anyway, it should be fun. What was I doing? Okay, I was looking at the departure. We're doing the HOW 3 departure. Howie 3, and the transition is going to be Lincoln. There you go. And our arrival is going to be into New York, the Valerie 5, with the DNY transition. Cool. There we go. All right, so we've got that. We got our weather in hand. We're good to go. Flight number is 5803. We'll just throw that in there. Good stuff. We're going to activate that. We'll execute it. We'll go to the pref page, and we are going to call. Well, first thing I'm going to do is start my ACARS, and then we're going to click into VATSIM here. So we're 5803 CST. So a couple of things. Somebody asked about the CRJ. Hang on. We have a new call sign for the CRJ, our coastal connection. Our radio call is actually called Sharkbait, which is really cool, with 3-letter identifiers of NEM, which is, I think it's hilarious. That's an emo, by the way. That's where Sharkbait comes from. So it's all connected somehow. All right, Memphis is online. Montreal's online. Let's see if... holy crap, Chicago's online. Here they come. All right, let's go ahead and click this. We're going to click load. Load the flight plan. Yes, sir. Shoot, hang on just a minute. I got to start my ACARS program for the company, so I want to get paid for this flight. All right, good. That's done. Good stuff. So I'm going to call for fuel. Let's get the gas truck in here. Activate GSX, and we'll say, hey, request refueling, please. Who do I want refueling? I want ASIG. I don't think it's them that did it, but we'll try it. Okay. Right now, fuel in the aircraft, we have about 12,200 pounds. So I'm just going to write that down, 6,100, because I have to put this in my the tech log here when it's all said and done. All right, good stuff. You know what's cool is the real aircraft. The Delta 75 is doing the exact same thing we're doing right now. To guarantee it. All right, zero fuel weight. I've got a zero fuel coming in at 129.3. So we're going to throw that in there. That's zero fuel weight. We're going to plan fuel with 14.8 is our maximum planned. By the time we taxi, we'll say 14. We need a minimum of 13.4 before we take off. Reserves are going to go 5. Cost index, what did they give us today? Wow, they give us a high cost index, but we're not going to do that. We're going to do 40 on the cost index. They said 80. There's no way. That's quite a lot. Okay, we're going to go 390, and then I'm going to call for clearance. Winds are coming in at 322.38, 322 slant 38, and then negative 46. I do want to know what you guys want to see, because I can't read your mind. So we're going to click that. We're going to hold right there on the page. Let's go get our clearance. What's our clearance? Clearance. All right, so we'll go ahead and do that. And I think is it Cleveland, or are we in, what center are we in? Hang on. We're in Cleveland Center. So no, Cleveland is not online, neither is Detroit. So something cool to do if you're ever on VATSIM and you're like, well, how do I know the CTAP? There's a couple things you could do. One, you can go to the airport chart, which I will pull up for you. And the airport chart, it's 3 towers. Okay, so we have 4 left. You can see 2 left. But which one do we use? So the best thing you could do is just hit .CTAF, right? You could do that and then click Kilo DTW, and it's going to tell you the frequency to use. So right now 135.000, and that's what we're going to dial in. So we're going to come back down here and we're going to dial in that 135.000. Now I can't use it on my panel, it's not working. So I'm just going to go 135.000 straight up right there. We'll enter that, and there you go. Thank you, Sean, Cleveland Center. Got it. Okay. Another thing, this 900, we don't have it for long, folks. It is pretty costly for us. This aircraft costs quite a lot of money per month, and we don't have enough pilots to fly it right now, so I'm going to have to return it to the lesser here soon. Unfortunately, it's just the way it goes. Okay, fuel's in. But that's kind of how it is when you're running a business, and we are trying to run a business here, so you'll have to excuse that. Well, that's what we got. All right, clearance is good. We got our ATIS. Let's go in and take a look at some performance numbers. And let's do that here. We'll click into this, and I'm going to show you what I was talking about in terms of the taxiways and all that good stuff. So I'm just going to click departure here. You can see if I go to airport, we're going to pin that airport chart up here. And this is where I'm going to show you. We'll throw it to night mode. And then we'll go full screen. And I'm just going to drill down to here. So we are right in here. We got to go to 3 left. So we're going to go down around Sierra 1. Or better yet, we'll come down, CR6 cross, then we go whiskey. Oh gosh, dude, this is crazy. See what I mean? We go to whiskey. What is this? Papa 3? Papa 3 to Papa. We got de-icing pads here. We won't need that. And then we'll go right here, and then we'll take 3 left out. So that's kind of the taxiway. That's how it looks. All right. And the departure, let's just do the briefing right now for the departure. We'll get that briefed to Sid. And we are going to be flying the HOW 3 departure, Howie 3. Let's click on that, and we'll go ahead here to full. And let's see what we got. So adhere, it's basically the same here. We're going to be 3 left. We're going to go 57 degrees to wings. And I'm just going to verify that is on my legs page. We've got wings, then playoff, McCart, Malta, and then Howie. And by the way, that's Gordie Howe. So it is Howe. Gordie Howe is a famous hockey player, if you didn't know. That's pretty cool. I love how you actually name your departures after hockey, which I believe Westchester should do. Broke and then Lincoln. Okay? Or Bork. Nah, that was Ray Bork. He was a Bostonian, wasn't he? Bruins guy. Howie. No, it's Howe. It's Howe. It's got to be Gordie Howe. Gordie Howe was, wasn't he a famous Detroit? Gordie Howe was. I think he was. I remember like old school pictures of him. All right, 54 in the heading. Man, that is super bright on my eyes, isn't it? And then let's just let's get our numbers, and we'll call for boarding. So I'm going to call for boarding now. We'll get the players are going to be starting to show up. Request boarding. Here we go. Yeah, Mr. Hockey, exactly. Of course. That's really cool. Only in Detroit. That's awesome. I love it. You guys know your stuff. We're going to go 3. Why is it not working? Import from the OFP. Okay. What are you doing? Let's try that. Clear. I don't think it is going to do anything just right about now. And the reason is we're not boarded yet. Okay. Do you want to board crew? No. We're on the aircraft. So while that's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and reset this, and we're going to do our flows. We'll get this going here. We're going to go that. That's full. Those are off. These are capped. Coming in. Inner foam is off. Crew ox is good. You don't want to drop this. This is going to be wired shut anyway. If you drop that, the oxygen masks are coming down, and your passengers are going to look at you like, what the heck happened? It looks cool on departure. Can see it in the sim, though. Can't see it in the sim yet, though. Gordie Howe International Bridge. Cool. Really. 3 green up on top. And we're coming down through here. Yacht Emperor's coming on. We have normal, normal, normal. Check this. Crossfeed. Lights on. Lights off. Back off. I'm going to turn all the pumps on here because we're going to get ready to go. Once they're boarded, we're out of here. We're going to come up. Whoop. That was too high. Auxiliary pumps are off. We don't need any of those. Cabin utility packs is on. Coming down here. That looks good. APUs are running. But seatbelts coming on. By the way, I would be screaming back there, good game, fellas, good game, fellas. High-fiving them as they come through. You know, you figure if you did this many charters with them, you'd probably have Panarin just sitting in the flight deck with you the whole time. I could see him doing that. That's off. Checking the engine anti-ice and the wing anti-ice. So just make sure these valves open and close. These will not close because they're pneumatic run, so you just got to throw those off. Pumps coming online now. Bam, bam. Looks good here. We're going to hold this for 5 seconds. 1, 1000, 2, 1000, 3, 1000, 4, 1000, 5. Lights on, off. Good. Come up. Trim area is on, straight up down here. Now you can see it's cold. We got to turn on the bleeds. Let's get the bleeds going. Bleeds are open now, and we're going to turn on the packs. So we're going to start warming up the cabin for our hockey team. We're going to keep it nice and cool for them. They're hockey players. They do like it cold, which is fine by me, right? 30, we're climbing to, what do we say, 39,000. So we'll go ahead and set this to 390. And I think it's about 400 feet, give or take. It's like 450. We'll keep it at 450. That is on auto. And then strobes on steady. We are going to go to the left side today. And that is it for the overhead. The overhead is done. I'm just going to go ahead and drive this. Make sure all the lights are on. They look good. You can just kind of breeze up through the overhead. Make sure that you have no bugs are out or anything like that. Good test on that. Come back down here. We'll check our O's. They look good. Lighting. Get your nest ready to go. Lighting is good. RTO. Lights on. Lights off. Good on the fuel. Good there. This is all set, ready to go. Let's get some trim. So we do need the performance numbers, folks. That's kind of what I'm waiting on, is some performance here. The passengers are getting on the aircraft. So I'm waiting for you, airplane. Now I can't do anything here. Okay, that's good, but I still let me try this. I think I know why. I think I'm a idiot. There we go. Now let's try it again. I think I needed to just tell it. Yeah. Okay. Now it should work. Yep. We're going to go 3 left. Looking good. It is dry. We're going to click import from aircraft. That's what I want. We've got optimum. Anti-ice is off. Weight's going to be 143.3. CG is 24.18. Packs are on. Import the weather and then click calculate. And this is what we're going to have. So we're looking at 89.3 on the N1 with a takeoff 2 on the climb. Cell temp 39 degrees. And I'm writing all this down. Trim's going to be 5.16. V1 is 141, 142, 149 with a takeoff weight of 143,300 pounds. We got about 10,000 pounds of cargo that's going to New York right now. That's one thing we do here. We have cargo. We really fill up the bellies on these charters a lot because of the we're so light. So you could take a little extra. I'm just going to click load. Get that loaded up. All right, folks, we're almost done. We're ready to go here. Click enter. Good to go. Sorry. All right, let's do the trim. Trim, what did I say? 5.16? Yes. Anybody miss the MD-80? Okay, now we're going to do this test again, but we're going to check the wheel well. See that wheel well light? That's what we're looking for. And I don't think we checked the squibs, so we'll check those squibs right now, make sure they're good. They are. We'll check the cargo. Good. We're going to come down to the panel here, 2,000. We're going to give it a rip. And I believe we do have a squawk code to throw. And is it on? Nope. Okay, squawking 0716. So we're going to go 0716. I could do that here. There we go. 0716. TARA is up 00. Panels are good. 3 on the pins. All right, folks, we're looking good and ready to go, man. All right, we'll run the checklist. We've already done the briefing. We've kind of done the taxi briefing, and I'm going to use my the Navigraph annotations on my iPad here. I'm looking at it over here. I'm just going to use the annotations to help us kind of figure it out on where we're going to go. Stupid thing. I got to get it to work. It's going to be charged first. Okay. We'll run the checklist and we'll be out of here. Just want to make sure that we've got Did I? No, I already did it. I already did it. Okay, route's good. Takeoff's in. All right, flaps are 5. CG's coming in. Flaps are 5, right? Do we write that down? I don't remember. Flaps coming in at what? Give me a break. Yeah, flaps are 5. Good. Cell temp 39 degrees. Okay, before you do that, because if you did that, you would be a miss because you have to do it again. So let's not do that. Let's go to pref. Init ref, you're going to end one limit. Now you're going to put your cell temp in. And I got a cell temp sitting at 39 degrees here. Enter, click takeoff. Good, 3 left, that's good. I've got numbers at 139. I'm going to use the lower one. 141 is set, and then 149. We'll use 150. As long as they're within about a knot of each other, knot or two, you're good to go. All right, you folks ready to rock and roll? One more thing we got to do is set this panel up here. So we're going to go, of course it doesn't work. We got to wake it up, see if it works. Ah, you stupid thing. I just got to restart the panel state. So nobody misses the MD-80. Who likes the 737? You guys like the 737 streams? I would assume most of you do. Okay, that's on. When we do the HOW 3, we are going to climb to a max altitude of 17,000. Looks like we have to be below. Play off at 7 below, 9,000 below. Yeah, so there's some restrictions that we're going to have to handle. And I'll show you those restrictions. So you don't want to climb past it. So you can, the thing's smart, right? You can set it to 17,000, but the problem is when you're going to be so busy that you could miss an altitude. So it's best to set at the 7,000 range, which I'm going to do right now, just because it's just good airmanship, I guess. So 7,000 feet, we're going to set this to 152. 152 knots, folks. All right. Omaha, what's up? You should do an A380. Do you know who you're talking to, my friend? Did you see my 1000 stream where I tried an A300 and I failed completely at it? Did you see that? All right, let me do a briefing. Team, welcome aboard. Great game against the Detroit Red Wings, by the way. Congratulations on another win. We're going to get ready to take you over to New York. Flight time into New York. It's pretty quick, like coming in here. I think we've got looking at about, once we're airborne, about 54 minutes. So that's pretty nice. About an hour 21 on the paperwork. The weather in New York right now, it's just some cloudy skies. Windy, a little windy down there, so it might be bumpy on the descent into New York. Right now, sit back, relax, enjoy your flight into New York. I'll let you know as we get a little closer on what to expect with the weather. Thanks again for watching. Subscribe to the channel, please. It helps us out. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. All right, folks, let's try this. We're ready to go here. Let's run our checklist. And we'll get this. By the way, again, if you knew, you just popped in, and you're like, man, I want to fly for Coastal, but I don't have the hours, or I don't have the time to put in to train. Well, there's no worries there, because we're taking CRJ pilots. So if you want to fly for us, you want to fly the CRJ, and then get your hours up, and then you could. Annotating, I've got it. Okay, good. Fuel pumps are on, passenger signs are on, window heat is on, hydraulic pumps are on, doors, we got to close those doors. I think we're all boarded and ready to go. Yep, we are. All right, so we're boarded, ready to go. The aircraft's done. We could just do a quick walk. I'll take you a walk around here really quick. I would be making the FO do that, by the way. It's cold. in Detroit right now. So, all right, this is a big aircraft. Like I was talking about before, this 900, we're leasing it, and it's a monthly charge, and unfortunately, we don't have the ROI to the return on investment's not there. So it's not like this thing's flying every week. We own the MD-80s outright, so it makes more fiscal sense to operate the MD-80 just because I don't have to spend money on, monthly charges, and we're talking $300,000 up to $300,000 a month to lease one of these aircraft. So it's not cheap. And yes, we simulate all of that here at Coastal. So you know what? I've got to make a good business decision and go, nah, we're bleeding our money, and we can't do that. So we're going to have this airplane for a couple more runs. We'll probably keep it to the playoffs and see. I'm going to try to finance it and try to buy it, but it's expensive. This airplane, even used, will cost you around 40 million or so. Maybe you can get one for 25, but that's a lot. I don't want to do that when you can buy, older equipment for 14 or even 9 million. I mean, our 4757s that we bought, I got for about 9 million. And I already purchased those. So look at this guy. Well, you broke my wing. That's the first problem I have with you. So we're gonna be in Detroit longer than I thought. Delta Sim pilot, how are you, buddy? Hopefully you're doing well. I'm just looking at this ASIG guy driving through my wing. I just want to take a look on the ground, make sure there's no oil or anything like that under there. All right. Looks good. I do love this 900 for these flights, but like I said, the amount of money that we're getting for this trip is just going out the door. Look at how pretty that cabin is. Woo, that's beautiful. All right, good job. Let's go. Let's get out of Dodge now. Well, let's go ahead and back up. Let's take a picture of that. No, I'm kidding. Let's take a picture of this right here. Cool. All right, I'm going to jump in. Let's run the rest of the checklist. We're going to close those doors, and we'll get the aircraft ready to go. Click return. We're going to go ground services. Nope. We're going to come over and click doors. We're going to go ahead and retract the stairs. We'll pull the stairs up, and then we'll close the doors. Once that stairs gets retracted, you guys would love to see me do an A380. Come on. I couldn't even get, I mean, what I would do is an A320 if I did anything. And you guys would laugh because I probably wouldn't even get the thing started. I'd be like, what's it doing now? You would probably hear me say that a lot. Okay, we'll go ahead and throw the chocks off. The power's on the aircraft. Let's get her done. Okay, upstairs, doing my flows, and then we'll run a checklist. Anti-colite is on, folks. Go to the throttle cam. There we go. All right, check. Doors check, pressurization set, auto brakes on, RTO, stab trim is set. Before start checklist is complete. Let's pull up. Let's go ahead and start the clocks. And we're going to get out of here. All right, I got to set this to that. Okay, we're going to go ground, and I just want to see something. I want to see what I'm going to be taxiing on, so let me turn on the taxi light. Okay, yeah, we're going to need a push. I don't think I'm going to be able to turn this thing the way I want without going on the grass, so let's go ahead and call for push. Prepare for push, please. I'm going to take a drink of water while that's doing its thing. SS Aviation, what's up, buddy? How are you? We're headed down to, where's your dress white pilot uniform? Love the full one with the captain hat. Yeah. I took a day off, man. I just did. This is our last. This is my way of being a little bit of a rebel. This is our last. Well, I'm still wearing the jet lag shirt. This is the Coastal Airways jet lag. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's the jet lag tee I've got on. It's really cool. There you go. It's a 730. It says 730 E-tops, 737-800, and it's available at the cruise store. So, yeah, I love this shirt. It's really comfortable. I just wanted a day off. This is our last season. This is our last flight of the regular season. So I'm just not wearing the threads today. Curtis Holmes, how are you? Welcome aboard. Thanks for checking in. Hopefully you're doing well. Yeah, but don't worry, it's coming back, man. I'll get him back on. You know, sometimes it's just like, yeah, I don't feel like. I just want a little more relaxed today. You know what I mean? A little more leisure, per se. All right, what we want to do is going to do a straight back. Okay, hold on. I got to change that. Can you guys hear that? I got to change the audio. Hang on. So you want to hear that. And then for the microphone, you want to hear this. The Yeti. Hang on just a minute. Speakers. No. Microphone device. Hold on. So we screwed this up. There we go. Okay. We should be able to hear now. Anyway. Do you like the A220? Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about it. It's cool looking. I mean, it's got big fans on it, which I like. I like the fans. But I don't know much about the aircraft other than that, right? You guys know me. If it's heavily automated, I tend to go meh. That doesn't mean I don't like it. I just, are we good to go here? Are we good to push? Just saying. Okay, I'm gonna throw my brakes and see if he yells at me. Set brakes immediately. He's yelling at me. Okay. Well, come on, man. What do you want me to do? Did I not tell him what to do? Continue push. Whatever. All right, I want to do a straight push. Manual stop. Yeah, go ahead. Now we're going to release the brakes, folks. Popping the brakes. Good. Let's get underway here. Now let's get off this truck so he doesn't break my airplane like he just did and smash my wing. Crazy dude. I just need just a little bit of room here so we can kind of turn out. There it goes. That's really cool with the light. That's pretty sweet. Just enough so I can make the turn. We got to just kind of do a little flipperoni. That's good right there. We'll stop it. Okay, that's good. You cleared us. So I'm just going to click stop here and complete the push, please. Anytime you're ready. All right, while we're waiting for them to do their thing, we're going to go ahead and start number 2. So packs are coming off. We'll come over here. Packs are off. We're going to go ahead and crank number 2. Number 2 is coming to ground. We can see it right there. We got to set our brakes now, buddy. Setting brakes. Please release parking brakes immediately. You guys suck. Finish this thing up. In position. Set parking brakes. Thing's so dumb. Okay, 25. Here comes the fuel. Fuel's in. Clock starts. Timer's on. There's the light. Sean, what's up, man? Okay, oil pressure is on the rise. This light's going to kill me, folks. I want to turn that thing off. It's too bright. By the way, if you're just checking in, do me a favor. Go in the chat, say hi. Let me know where you're hailing from. That's always good. Looking at the EGT, folks, you just want to make sure that doesn't pop, go red on you. There's 600. Look for a rollback. Got a good rollback. We're going to actually start 2 engines today. It's just easier, especially at night. At night, tucked all the way over here in the middle of nowhere. I'd rather not mess around with it. Unlocking the gear. So 25% of N2, you'll introduce the fuel. And then let's take a look at the EGT. There is no FADEC on this aircraft, so it's up to the pilots to catch any hung start or any hot start on this airplane. EGT is coming up, oil pressure's on the rise. N1 is rolling. So again, you're just making sure your EGT trend is not spiking really fast. That would indicate a hot start, or you can indicate a hung start where your N1 is not rotating quick enough. So you want to make sure, and when it's done, you have 2, 5, and 6 usually right around there. And there comes the starter cutout. That's good. 2 good lights. Looks like we got rollback on number 1. So I'm going to come back up here. That APU off. Bingo. Bingo, bango. Up on the overhead. Let's check everything here. So battery straight across. We got Gen 1, Gen 2 inverter, and you're looking at 400, 117. That's perfect. Those are on. Probes are coming on. Engines are off. That's fine. Doors are closed. On the overhead here again, trim air is on. Packs are coming on now. You can see it was nice and toasty in there. Not too bad in the cabin. What is it? 40, 50, 60, 65 degrees. That's perfect. 39. Man, we got the cabin dialed in tonight, guys. Taxi's coming on. Set the flaps 5. Flaps 5. We'll do a check. Wing lights coming on so we can see what we're doing. Did he push me on the grass? Am I on the grass? I don't know. That's funny. Okay, we're going to check our flight controls. Everything looks good here. Run the checklist. Let's do this thing. All right, before taxi, generators are on, probe heat is on, anti-ice is off, flight controls are free, flaps are set, 5-5 with a green light. TARA is, I think it's on. I've turned it on. It's on. And before taxi checklist is complete, let's go ahead and talk to the folks. Okay, I got somebody coming in on 3 right, so we got to be careful of that. I'll take this off, go over here. Okay. Detroit traffic, Riptide 5803, taxi runway 3 left. Understand there's an aircraft on 3 right. Can you hear me? Radio check.
I got you 5x5, Skywest 2981. We're about 5 mile final, 3 right. Should be no factor feed.
All right, we'll watch for you. We're on the general aviation side. Okay, brakes off. We'll watch for that aircraft so we don't have any issues with them. All right, let's go ahead and pull out. I actually want to turn this way, so Omaha says if you know how to fly this, that technically means you know how to fly a real airplane. That is very true. You are right. If it's a real airplane, yeah, I kind of want to fly it, right? All right, folks, we're on the way. Woo, we did it. And once I clear this stuff, we'll go ahead and I'll turn off the wing lights. You wouldn't want to actually travel with those on. This thing's jacked. I tell you, ever since I there we go. Ever since I got this panel, it's just really weird. SSO Jason, is it company policy to turn on wing lights during flight control check at night? No, I just did it so I could see. That's all. One thing I do want to do though is calibrate my nose wheel tiller. It seems a little off, and I'm going to go and turn off the overhead lights. All right, we're going to turn out of here. I'm just kind of trying to look. I might want to turn on some runway turn-offs, folks. That's the landing lights. There's the grass. Hold on. What's going on? This thing's goofy. What's going on here? Is it behind me? Hang on just a minute. Let me get my lighting right first, because I don't feel like... Give me some turn-offs here, bro. It's just going to help me visually see what I'm doing. I think we made the wrong turn at Albuquerque. Yes, we did. So what I want to do is flip this back around. We're going to roll this aircraft around here. And there's no way we're getting through this. Oh, I missed it. There it is, right there. See it? All right, no big deal. So what we're going to do is we're going to rotate the right engine here. We're going to spin it over to the left. Gives us a little asymmetrical turning. I missed the turn. My bad. All right, there's our line. Yeah, I see that. It's right behind me. Just want to make sure we're clear everything. This is a pretty big wingspan. Okay. Welcome to the wonderful world of night flying. I got it now. All right, we're good. SkyWest, you got nothing to worry about, buddy. We won't be there for another sense you use besides the kinesthetics is smell. Actually, that's very true.
Metro SkyWest 2981 off of 3 right at Whiskey.
All right, good to know. So he's clear. We don't have to worry about that aircraft coming through. We're going to be on Sierra 5. All right, folks, we're on Sierra 5. Now we're taxiing. Now we're cooking with a tank of gas here. All right, so as we come to these crossroads, we're going to come up to the right. We'll make a right up here. And then once we do that, I'm going to stop the timer. Okay. There it is right there, a SkyWest aircraft. We'll start the timer, and I am going to taxi with the turn-offs on. Just give us a little more visibility.
81 going to be taxiing to the Bravo terminal via Whiskey, crossing runway 27 right at Whiskey, then Victor, all the way down to Kilo, Detroit Metro.
All right, so as we turn over here, we're actually going to make a right and then a quick left. This is a crazy big airport, folks. You just got to navigate around here. This is where a lot of our fuel goes to the taxi. And then we're going to make a quick right on the Sierra. We'll turn on our landing lights because we're going to be crossing an active runway. So we'll make sure that happens here in just a minute. I think this panel is toast. Okay, we'll hold right here. Just kind of tap the brakes. Wait. Lights coming on. Okay, hold on. Detroit traffic, Riptide 5803, crossing runway 3 right, Detroit. Okay, we're crossing the active here. Okay, good deal. So come on the upstairs. We're going to go down Whiskey. Detroit traffic, Riptide 5803. We're going to taxi down to Whiskey over to Papa, and then Papa 1 for 3 left. Looks like an aircraft out there somewhere. That looks clear. We're going to turn off the landing lights now.
Detroit traffic, SkyWest 298, 81 cross runway 3 left at Victor, Detroit.
3 left at Victor. He's no factor. Okay, we're going to take this straight down now. But we can't because we're on Whiskey, right? So we're going to take this all the way down here, folks. I'll show you what I'm doing. so you kind of could see what's going on. So you know I'm not going crazy, which is difficult sometimes. Because you guys are like, what's Jason doing? He's weird. All right. Let me get on the taxiway here. Coastal Airways policy is not heads down when you're taxiing. Well, you know what? Okay, this is what we're doing. We're going to go down Whiskey. Then we got to turn and make a first right we can down to Papa 3. And then we're going to make a hard left to Papa. Now that's kind of what we do. So the first right, then a hard left, and that should get us to where we need to go. It's the whole, Sean, just this one little panel is jacked up. It's giving me problems. Really what I need to do is just turn it off, turn it on, unplug everything, plug it back in. And by the way, folks, I've got a contractor coming over soon. They're going to be redoing this studio in my office. So they're putting a new desk in. So that's going to happen. That means I got to take everything out of this office. Okay, first right. Detroit traffic, Riptide 5803 on Papa 3 now for Papa, or 3 left. All right, then we're going to say make that first right. Then we're going to make a hard left. See, that's when it's going to put us right there. This is going to put us on Papa. This is almost as bad as JFK. Not quite, but almost. All right, we're going to turn into here. Looks like we've got an A350 broken. Okay, this is the fun part. Why am I not surprised that's an Airbus broken? Oh, I'm just not surprised. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I have to. You guys know, you watch the stream, you got to know I'm going to jab Airbus every time I can. Boeing's in the crosshairs too, let me tell you. Right? Well, at least we actually put the doors on, right? Yes. And by the way, folks, if you were wondering about that United 737 MAX that slid off of the taxiway, that was nothing but pilot error, folks. It wasn't the aircraft. That was pilot error, exiting too fast at 25 knots, and the thing just slid. So it wasn't the airplane's fault. It was the pilot. Okay, we're making another quick left here, or excuse me, right. It's a nice A350. I like that. Okay, 3 left. Woohoo, we made it. All right, I'm going to stop the aircraft. We'll get the thing configured and ready for departure. How's that? I don't want to do it on the roll here when I don't have my panel working. Brakes. Good stuff. Let's go outside. Let's take a look. We get an up-close picture of this thing. I'll take a picture of it. All right, good. So a couple things we want to do is just come on the overhead, take a look. We've got packs are on, bleeds are on, tenant notification complete. We're letting them know what's going on. We've got everything up here ready to go. One thing we want to do is just come down here. We've got primary. I'm going to put this on primary IMC. You can go primary A3, and I'm going to drop the HUD. I like doing this. We got to turn that brightness way down. There we go. Okay, I like doing that. That gets me good. We've got an aircraft coming in here. Checklist coming out, and we're rolling still. For takeoff, checklist, takeoff configuration, check. Packs are set, bleeds are set, altimeters are set. Recall complete. All right, folks, in the chat right now, if you're a member, let's get the chutes on. Chutes on, baby. Here we go. We got an airplane landing right now. Doesn't tell anybody. By the way, and that's a YouTube member, so if you're a YouTube member in the chat, let's get the chutes on. These are the parachute. Okay, we're out of here. We're rocking and rolling. Okay, lights coming on. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I do have to set. Man, This panel is not working either. So I'm going to strobe and steady up on top. That's on. Wing lights are on. And logo is on. Here we go. Let's give him a call. What do you say? Now we're lit like a Christmas tree. Detroit traffic, Riptide 5803, taking runway 3 left, departure to the north, Detroit. All right, here we go, folks. We're lining up on this puppy. Okay, I got 3 left on the pavement, 3 left on the ND. First leg is going to be 2 wings, 0, 5, 4. I'm going to switch it to the Howie or How 3. We got 054 degrees. Right after departure, we'll go straight to wings. Here we go. You're going to bring the throttles up to 40 and then wait. We'll go auto throttle armed. There she goes. Give it a second. Give it a second. Give it a second. Give it a second. Smash it. Nope. Okay, smash it again. And toga, please. All right, takeoff thrust is set. We're on the roll, folks. 70 knots, 80 knots on the cross check. Now this is a 900, so we're just going to pop the nose up and let it go. Little windy. We're going, so we're just going to pull the nose up and stop right there. Hold it. Don't pull back anymore. Let the airplane lift off. There we go. Now we can yank it. Now we got to gear up. Gears up. 20 degrees. Stop. Okay, speed check, please. I'm going to go level. LNAV on. VNAV on. Let's go ahead and bug it up. Flaps to 1, please. Once we through. Yep. We'll start our turn. Heading 054. Flaps were at 1. Beautiful. Flaps coming up. Quick flap retraction because we're pretty light for a 900, right? So that's why. And we're manually flying the aircraft now. That's good. Common set state. Auto brakes coming off. Detroit traffic, Riptide 5803, headed to wings on the climb. Last call. Have a good night, folks. What a beautiful, beautiful thing. All right, we're going to have to get some assistance here on the climb. Because now we're getting a little too fast for britches. So we want to get this thing up to about 15 degrees. Give us a good climb up to 7,000. We've got to be below 7,000, so you don't want to do that. You give your passengers a bad ride. Okay, autopilot is on. Command is on. That is set. LNAV, VNAV is on. That's coming off. Whew, nice. Okay, I'm just going to do a couple of cleanup things. We'll turn that off. All right, 6 for 7 at wings. We got to keep it at 7,000 feet. A bunch of clouds coming here. We're looking at a +2. Here come the engine anti-ice. We got to turn those on. So sorry you can't see it, but I'm going to turn it on right now. So you can see right here TAI or TAI, thermal engine anti-ice is on. And we're in the mustard. So we're going to hold right here at 7,000 feet. We're going to go ahead and roll the aircraft. Play off. Got to keep it low. Unknown. How are you? I just joined here. Hey, well, welcome aboard. Appreciate you hanging out with us. We just took off out of Detroit. We're heading over to Westchester. We're flying the Rangers hockey team back home. They just played Detroit. This is a charter for Coastal Airways. So if you're not familiar with us, check us out, coastalairways.com. Also, if you are if you're not a subscriber on the FSBN channel, we recommend you to do that as well. All right, we're through. We got to keep it at 7,000 feet, folks, and I'll tell you why. On the departure here, we have to keep that altitude low because of the arrivals, right? So you have arriving traffic. Didn't I pin this? I thought I did. I didn't pin it, you idiot. Yeah, I must have. I didn't pin the SID? You gotta be kidding me. All right, there it is. It is pinned. All right, so let's zoom in. I'll show you what's going on. We've got this level altitude because of arriving traffic. And we got playoff right there. We got to keep it at 7,000. Once we hit that, we're going to bring it up to 9,000. So I'm going to just bring this up to 9,000 now. And we can't do anything. We just got to stay here at 250 knots until we get to, you know, past playoff, and then we can bring it on up. That's kind of where we're at now, folks, with this guy. Throttle cam's coming off there for you. Once we hit playoff, we'll start our climb, and that's up to 9,000. The airplane will do it automatically because we're on VNAV path. Okay, so you're just watching it, you're looking, we're saying, oh my gosh, you know, it's taking forever, right? Once we hit McCart, or once we hit the 9,000 restriction, we're gone. We're going to be climbing up to our cruise altitude there, which is going to be 36,000. We can kind of get out of this weather. There comes the throttles. You see the throttles are coming in, and it's going to command a climb. There we go. It's going to climb us up to 9,000. Again, we're going to have to be below McCart at 9,000 feet. So it'll probably climb us up to 9. We're going to be in the soup. This is prime icing conditions right now for us. So one of the things we'll kind of be watching for is, you know, any buildup on this. One thing you could do is shut your landing lights off. It doesn't matter much now because you're not landing or anything, so you don't really need to see out the window. We're +1, and now we got to hold. Once we hit McCart, then we're going to climb up to our altitude. And I'm going to go ahead and set that right now, folks. I'm going to set that to 37. What's our cruise? Shoot, I got to look at my paperwork. I think it's like 370 or something. I'll take a look. We're 390. I'll take a look. I'm just going to set it up there. Get it in that range where I think we are, and then I'll take a look. It says 390. 39,000 right there. We're still in the soup. And now you could say, well, we're past, and why aren't we climbing? It's because I'm going to go ahead and click this altitude intervene, which is next to that 39. Watch the airplane. The airplane is going to start its climb. And we're almost through this cloud top. I'm going to keep the engines on just a little bit longer. The engine anti-ice, we're still in the junk. And then we'll start doing a climb check here shortly. We can't take our shoulder harnesses off till we hit 10,000. And even then, I wouldn't, just kind of looking at the weather here. Yeah, there's a cell we're going to be flying in through. We're going to go right between these two cells. There's 10,000 feet, so the airplane's going to automatically start a climb, which, I mean, it'll automatically increase its speed, which I'm okay with, as long as the turbulence is okay. So, I mean, we're forecasted to be light turbulence at this altitude to no turbulence. So, I'm okay accelerating through. And by the way, we're pretty much through the junk. As you can see out the window, it looks great, right? So what we'll do is we'll turn off the engine anti-ice for now. Nope. That's off. It's going to increase. And now I'm going to kick my seat belts off. So we don't need those on anymore. All right, folks. What do you guys want to discuss? Is there anything you want to discuss? I'll give you an update here shortly. I'm going to douse the flames here a little bit because it's super bright. So I'm going to turn the background just a little bit off, that ADF. I'll throw my panel lighting down a little bit. And like I said, SRQ, we are going to do a company charter flight And now I'm going to turn this off. We'll do our climb checks. So want to look at first things, pressurization. Take a look at that. Then we look at our APU. It's off. And then we're going to come over here and make sure our flaps are up and we don't have any lights on. So let's do our checklist. So always flow first, then your checklist. Packs and bleeds are auto and on. Yep. Good. Pressurization checked. Start switches are off. APU is off. Flaps are up with no lights. Checklist is complete. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the taxi light up here. See if my panel works. Okay, that works. All right, folks, I'm just going to hang out and give you an idea of what we're looking at here. I do expect some turbulence coming up between now and Lincoln, which is on its way. We've got about 42 miles to go to Lincoln. It's definitely looking like some weather up there, so let's see if we can clear it. And you can use the Navigraph app, and if you look at convective top layers, you kind of can see where the clouds are. I'm just going to reset this. There we go. So far, so good. Looks like we're going to clear it. They're in the 15,000 range, so we're going to be over the top of them. And I'm going to throw the radar app on, and we are feet wet. We're good to go. Weather's clear. No radar to speak of, so we're above all the junk. That's it. Is that a game or not? John, what were you saying? Is this a game, or is that what you're saying? Was that your question? I'm sorry. And then we're going to go to a couple of things. We're going to do standard pressure. So we're going to go like that, 2992 if it works. And then we're going to throw the lights off. If you're talking about if you're talking about this as a game, this is a simulator, right? So it depends on how you want. I tell people this all the time. It really depends on what you want to get out of this. When I was doing my flight training, I used Microsoft Flight Simulator for all my instrument training, get procedures down, flows, that kind of stuff. So some people use this as a game, and they'll just do whatever they want, and that's fine, right? They'll do things, and that's okay. Some people don't treat it as a game. Some people treat this as a training tool, which we at this channel we treat it as a training tool. So I know airline pilots, buddies of mine, who actually take their simulators and they'll actually bring it to class in their hotel room. And when they're going through emergency procedures, they'll actually knock out the flows with emergency procedures, because then you get used to where all the switches are and all your gauges are, and it's seamless. It's pretty darn interesting. You think that's not the case. The only weird thing is if you don't have track IR and you like your head position up here, that's not really realistic, because when you're sitting in the left seat or the right seat and you look up, that's the sight picture, right? It's not this. So if you folks are going to be airline pilots or you're thinking about it, you want a realistic view, sit in this seat or right seat and then look up, because that's what it looks like. So I don't know if that was your question or not, John, but there you go. And this is Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, if you're wondering. So right now we're through 18,000 to 23,000 feet, and we're looking pretty good all the way over. It looks like right now we will be arriving in 1 hour. We'll be on the ground. We'll be descending approximately in 20 minutes. No, that's not right. We'll be descending a little bit quicker with Jamestown in 20 minutes. So Jamestown 114.7. Let's go ahead and set that frequency. So we'll take a look at this. We're going to go 114.7. If this works, nothing works. None of my panels work. 114.7. Let's see if we can get this thing working. Okay, 114.7. I just dialed that in on number 2. So that's our VOR number 2. You can take a look at that. About 103 nautical miles away. Shoot. from that VOR. And I'm just going to go ahead and do this and then increase. There's Jamestown VOR right there. That's kind of what we just cross-triangulated. We're feet wet over the Lake Erie. So we are going to be over Lake Erie for quite some time until we get over Kerry or Erie, which is a VOR here. Let me see if I can show you the route. We're done with this. We're almost done. Once we hit Lincoln, we're off of the star, the SID. So let's go ahead and just drop this out of here. And we're going to go right to this. Move that out of the way. And then we will go like that. Home. And then we'll put this. Let's start looking at our arrival weather. Right now we've got Westchester saying 10 statute miles, overcast to 12,000, 5 over 2, 2970, no problem. And nice and easy. Let's go ahead and go full screen and I'll show you. See, we're over Lake Erie now, feet wet right now. And we're going to be over it for quite some time. I'd say maybe about 15 minutes. If we had a problem with the airplane, we could divert to the south, Cleveland. Okay, and I'm going to undock this. I think I can unlock the location. So Cleveland's going to be down here. We can divert to Cleveland. We're kind of past it now, or we can go up to Canada. All right, looks like this will be Toronto, so that's another good option. We've got Jamestown over here and Buffalo over here. So we do service Buffalo at Coastal Airways. I'd probably go to Buffalo if I could, depending on the issue with the aircraft. That's what we're looking at. So Quang Van says, I like this video. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for checking in. We're just kind of doing a hockey charter. This is the Rangers. New York Rangers just played in Detroit. And we've been flying this entire season. It's a long season, folks. If you've been following this channel, we flew every single away game that the Rangers played. And if you look at the routing and you look at the times, you look where we park, all of that stuff is researched. Plus we have contracts. Sean does a great job in our charter department of actually making contracts, and we're getting paid for this. So we virtual dollars, but we get paid for this. Then the company pays me as a pilot. So all of this stuff is simulated. Landing fees, gate fees, FIS fees, you name it, terminal fees, baggage fees, all of that stuff is built in and baked into our system. So it really is in nature. If you're looking for a realistic virtual airline, then look no further than us. It just requires you to actually do work. And a lot of people don't like that. And what I mean by that is training. We've got to train. And just like the real thing, you expect that. Well, you expect that here too. So anyway, I hope you enjoy it. Looking at an update, just give you an update here on the weather. Weather looks great. 387 miles to destination. So we're probably going to be landing to the south. We've got weather just north of Jamestown. So it looks like radar, I'm painting snow and rain, kind of a rain mix snow kind of deal, just north of Jamestown. On our weather display, and I'm going to try to see if I could sneak in and show you that. Maybe I can. I'll show you kind of the weather that I'm kind of looking at. And I want to see with this particular, we're at 31,000 feet. I want to see where that tops of that radar is, right? So what's the altitude of the cloud cover we're going to have? Are we going to be in it? We're kind of going to get through it. I just want to see if we're going to be over the top or not. So I'm just going to click at high cloud top level, and it's going to show us we're okay. It's going to be right in that 35,000 range, it looks like, for the colors. It's not a dark color, and I'll have to show you this when I'm looking at it, and then you can kind of get a good idea. Sean says, it would be funny if the Rangers and the Panthers met up in the playoffs. No, it wouldn't, Sean. Why are you saying that? That means it's a flight all the way down the coast again from, no. You'd want that. No, actually, I'm not going to complain. It's good money for the company, so, you know, whatever. But yeah, it's been a long season. This is the last regular season away game for the Rangers. At least that we have to fly. They're playing the Islanders away, but that's a bus ride, right? That's a bus ride to the I was going to say Nassau Coliseum, to the Barclays Center. So it's no big deal for us. We're done. Contractually, we're finished until the playoffs. So once we land them, our MD-80 is stationed there at Westchester. We'll leave that aircraft there. We're going to take this 900 down at Sarasota in Florida and prepare it to fly up to Baltimore. So it's going to do another flight up to Baltimore. We're taking the company. I don't know. I think we're doing a back. It's Baltimore and back. So we'll have to write up that contract. That's good money for the company, right? We'll get that flight in next week so you guys can see that. That was a request, by the way, for one of you guys. So you could go on our Instagram channel and take a look at that. And our Instagram is just, I believe it's Fly Coastal on Instagram. And you can request any, a flight, a charter. You can book us for a charter. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. It's just fun to do stuff like that. So that is cool. All right, I was going to show you the weather here really quick. Let me go ahead and dial this in, and we'll get the weather pulled up. Maybe, if this is going to cooperate. I've been flying the CRJ like crazy this week. By the way, we're doing a proving flight out west. And so what that means is it's a lot of CRJ flying, which is pretty fun. Okay, let me hook this up really quick here. Air server, AIR. All right, I'm gonna slide this thing over to here. And let's see if we can't get something working for us. How's that? Maybe, maybe not. That very well could happen, Sean, where the Rangers are playing the Panthers in the playoffs. Okay. Remember I was talking about that weather. There it is, right? So we're at this Jamestown VOR, and then we're going to go track north to MEMS, which is a waypoint. So we've got to make sure that at this altitude, we're at 35,000 feet. Are we going to clear this? What altitude are these cells at? Is it low? Is it high? So what we're going to do is down here, we're going to click the radar, or tap the radar, and we're going to kind of scroll down so you can see where it says high cloud top level. And that is going to give us this color. It's going to give us some color code where we know it's in the 250 range, maybe 30,000. We're going to be clear over the top of this. And even when we hit MEMS and then down, we might be descending into this. That's probably going to be more in the 32,000 range. And this green here is our arrival. So that is what I'm looking at. Also, when we're doing turbulent plots, I can click turbulence and go up to a cruise altitude of about 380 here. That's 42. There's 38. And you can see we got a smooth ride all the way into New York, which is awesome, right? Cool. So that's kind of how you would ascertain what the weather's looking like. We're at 36,000. This thing's struggling to get to 39. I don't know if we want to get to 39. Maybe we can go 37 and hold it. Let's just do that, folks. Let's go 37. This way we can be in the cruise a little longer. So I'm just going to stop it right there at 37. We're going to come up on top, and I'm going to stop 37 here. And then last thing you want to do is come to the FMC, and you got to tell it, hey, we're going to be cruising at 37,000, okay? And the reason why is just because this thing is being a pig. It's nice and slow. So 370, there we go. It's going to recalculate the descent for us. There's level altitude. And then we'll go upstairs here and throw the seatbelt signs off. We'll just let them know that, hey, we'll do a quick announcement here for you, if I could find it. There we go. I'd say, hey team, from the flight deck, we are looking at approximately about 330 miles away. Looks like we'll be arriving here in about 45 minutes into the Westchester area. The weather in Westchester is pretty nice. Might be a little bit bumpy down low. It's a little bit windy. We'll be landing to the north. Top of descent coming in about 200 miles. Thanks again. Sit back, relax, enjoy the rest of the flight. We appreciate your business, that's for sure. There we go. That's what I would have told them. Yeah, I think the Rangers are going to be ending up playing the Panthers. Who knows? The thing about the playoffs is it's anybody's. I mean, just because you have the best record in the NHL doesn't mean anything. It means you can lose it. You've got to play. The playoffs matter. And you got to play every game like it's your last game in order to win. And, Coach Laviolette said, he's getting the players ready for it. And it's good to see that. So that's good. It's good that the Rangers are starting to flow and they're looking pretty good. All right, we're Jamestown VOR. We've got about 33 miles. We're about 200 miles from top of descent. Really what I'd like to do at about 150 miles, we'll start looking at kind of descent planning, where we're going to go. We're going to put this thing, how are we going to land this? This is a 900, folks, so you can't flare this aircraft. You'll tail strike it. So what you got to do is just kind of do this and then boop and then hold. Just hold the attitude and just let the thing sink and hit the ground. Even with power in, I smashed this thing on the ground coming into Detroit. Pretty bad. And our members, our YouTube members, if you're a member of our channel, you're going to see that. I'm going to post it up tonight. You'll see it. Just pancake this thing down into Detroit. And it was a day flight. It wasn't a night flight. But I just had to. I was sitting there like, I had power in too. I was just holding the thing and it just went boom. All right, there we go. And I didn't break it. It was about 300 feet per minute descent, but I think we nailed the mark, which was what I was going for. At this airport into Westchester, it's a shorty. It's a 6,200 foot runway. It's a pretty short runway. This aircraft tends to have a little faster on the V speeds. I can't wait to fly the 7.5, folks. I heard like the VREF on landing is like 134. That's like a 737-700. That's insane to me to get that low of a speed with that big of an airplane. So I'm looking forward to flying that 7.5. I cannot wait until it comes out. We're going to do a lot of 757 training on this channel. You're going to see it a lot, right? You're going to see us go through flows. I'm actually working printed flows right now for the airplane. I've got a flow trainer, so I've been working the flows, the emergency procedures. We'll be doing a lot of that training for Coastal because we're going to be using those aircraft for our charter runs. Well, 2 of them, and then the other 2 are going to be running line flights. And then I do want to buy more. So you're going to see a heavy 757 fleet coming from us because I think that it's going to increase our legs a little bit. We'll get some good stretch going on. We can do like Salt Lake to Honolulu in the 7.5. So those are the types of flights we'll probably implement with that airplane. All right, let's take a look at something else here. Why is that light on, folks? Did I turn them off? Those are off. Those are off. That's off. Those are off. That's off. Okay. I'm not going crazy, am I? Oh! That's going to hurt. So that's going to ding us. That's why I don't like flying at night a lot, because you don't see... I mean... the ACARS will tattletale on us. All right, we're finished with Lake Erie. We're now feet dry. We've got Jamestown up to MEMS, which you can see on the ND display right there. That's our next waypoint, and that's going to be 133 miles. Fuel's looking good. We're looking at arriving at about 10,000 pounds, so That's really good. 11.5 at Lincoln. Just want to make sure your burn is good. So we're going to go to flights on our OFP. Let me show you. I forgot I have this. So we can go like this, and I'm just going to scroll down. There's a couple things you can do here. So we just passed a waypoint called Jamestown. So at Jamestown, we should have had 9.7 on the fuel. And I write this down usually on my iPad. So we passed Jamestown over 9.9. So we're 300 pounds better than forecast. So that's good. All those are good. That's a good sign. That means we're burning good. Our fuel burn is doing very well. And that's it. I'm going to go ahead and lock the aircraft location. Here we go. We're heading that northeastern track now. We're pretty much over western New York. And we're going to be flying from western New York over to about 169 miles to top of descent. So what I'll do is I like to kind of get the lay of the land, so to speak. Let's take a look at the weather here. The weather just changed 15 minutes ago. So I'm going to write stuff down. And actually, I'm actually going to use my iPad, and I'll show you. That's because I don't need it anymore to watch the game. But I'll throw it on the screen for you so you can see kind of what we're going to do. I've got to do some general paperwork. So this is what we'll do. Okay, we're 5803. We're departing. We departed Detroit. DTW-HPN. Departure time was like 22:30 local, wasn't it? Pack 60. Bag weight is pretty much the same. It's always usually 1920 by. We had a cargo weight about 10,000. That's with the players' bags, the media equipment, all that stuff is in there. Total payload was pushing. What did we push? I didn't write that down. That's okay. 0 fuel weight. That we do have. Or our payload was 29 even. And our 0 fuel weight, we came out at 129.3. We had a takeoff weight of 143.6. And estimated landing weight was pushing 135.9. Still is, and we're way under our max landing weight, so that's good. Station was Detroit. We did take up some fuel there. We are in 901 Charlie Sierra. Today's date is 4/5/24. And our minimum fuel out was... Shoot, I gotta change my my comms. Minimum takeoff fuel is 13.4. We maxed planned at 14.8, and we did uplift 14.8 on the gas. I'm just going to put ramp. I don't know which one was. Okay, I wrote my tanks down. Woohoo! That's why I did it, as I knew I was going to have to do this. Welcome to the airlines, folks. You want to fly on an airliner? This is what you're going to be doing. Paperwork all day long. Paperwork, paperwork, paperwork. This is the boring part of flying. This paperwork. What did we take? 14.8? Okay, what do you guys want to talk about? Is anything anybody wants to talk about? We're talking about 7.4 on both. That gives us nothing in the center. That gives us 14.8. That's done. We departed with 7,400 pounds. 14,800 pounds of fuel. Sign my name right there. Okay, flap 5, runway 3 left. Cell temp was 39. Trim was like, what was it, 5 point... What was our dang trim, folks? Trim was 5.16. We had 141, 142, 149. Folks, I want to know, when hockey season's over, what do you want us to do on this channel? What would you like to see? Airport, Detroit, HPN. We'll write up our HPN stuff. This is kind of where we're at right now. Timeout was 22:30, I think. All right, let's go ahead and get the actual weather from from Westchester County. Okay, ATIS is not accurate anymore because they stopped with the ATIS right now. We have METAR 290 at 11. Visibility is 10 miles. Overcast skies at 12,000 feet. Temperature is 5, dew point -2, altimeter coming in at 32970. And by the way, I just got an alert on my phone. The actual real flight just took off out of Detroit. So pretty cool how we follow the schedule like this. It's fun. We've done that all season. 29070, pretty much. Runway of choice is going to be 34. So, and we're going to go gate 58. All right, let's go and calculate some stuff, and we'll get all this hammered out. Think about what you guys want us to see or want to see in the summertime as we get a little closer to that. Let's go to performance tool. We're going to go to landing en route. All right, so we're going to go HPN Westchester. Runway is going to be 3 of 4. Runway elevations there. Conditions are dry. We'll click import aircraft details. I'm just going to dump in our we're going to do landing flaps 40. There's no way we're going to do 30. Landing flaps are 40. Okay. Packs are on. Anti-ice is off. Auto brake, I'm thinking 3 for now. We might go max. Let's see what we look. Click import the weather, and let's click calculate. Now that calculates at 5,038 feet. That's with auto brake 3. This is a 6,200 foot runway, and to be completely honest with you, it's less than that. And I'll show you a way that you can find out what the runway is really doing. If you have a Navigraph subscription, folks, I'll show you what you can do. Go to your charts again. You're going to click the charts. You're going to go to arrival airport. You're going to go to airport, and then you're going to click this right here, where it says airport info continued takeoff minimums. And I'm just going to pin those. We're going to go into here. I'm going to make it full screen for you. Does it not show it? Did I not select it? Well, that's weird. Okay, let's try it now. There it goes. It was hiding from us. All right, so let's go ahead and dial it in. So take a look over here. Runway 34, come across. Look at that. Landing beyond glide slope, 5,400 feet, which means if you were flying an ILS approach, okay, now we're going to be visual, but we can't cheat too much here at this airport because these trees are all over the place in Westchester. So we can't really cheat. What I mean by that is it's at night. We can't really see what we're doing. So if we start ducking under, doing a duck under, we're in big trouble at night. So we're going to try to keep it red over white on the pappies. It'll be a visual, but we're going to have to try to keep it on glide slope. So that puts us at 5,400 feet. That's not going to be good for us. So what I want to do is increase the auto brake to, when we do landing here, landing en route, I'm going to increase that auto brake from 3 to max and see what that brings us. Now, I know what you're saying. Look at that. 3,500. And you could say 4,000. And the reason why I'm doing that, yes, you could probably get away with 3, but it's at night. I'd rather stop the airplane. It's just going to help us a little bit, just giving us a little bit more of a cushion. We got a VRAF of 139, and not to mention, yeah, okay, so we're good. So we're at 5 knots on the increase with the VRAF add 5. So I think that's very conservative. That's a good you know, that's being very conservative with the landing data. So that's good. We'll take it. So that's what I'm saying. You want to kind of plan that stuff. You want to get into that mindset of, all right, we got to stop the airplane. Can't see anything. I know there's trees everywhere. Those are all threats that you got to start thinking about. And we're going to do the Valerie 5 arrival. So let's go to brief that approach, or brief the arrival with the approach. And if New York Center's on, son of a gun, I'm still picking that up.
Stop inbound for iOS, runway 4 left, silver transition.
So we're going to got 122.8, excuse me, my voice just went nuts. So I'm going to throw 122.8 in there. That just gives us our regular CTAP. All right, let's do a briefing onto the arrival now. Let's go into here. We're going to click into our charts. Back into there. We're going to pull the arrival up. And we're doing the Valerie 5. I'll go ahead and pin that. Okay, full screen it. Bring it over here. All right, we're going to come into DeLacy. Now, there's a few things we're going to do. We're going to hit Wheats, and we're dropping off of Wheats. Okay, we're going to go from Wheats down, and we're going to go down basically the Hudson and coming around this side. Because what I don't want to do is fly here, go over here, go over to here, go over to here, and then fly over this side. So in real life, this is what they'll do. They'll hit Wheats, drop straight down, and they'll do this button hook. They'll go visual, and they'll do a GPS essentially approach into this airport. That's what we're going to do. We're going to end up doing the same thing. Okay, so what I want to do is now check the approach. So we're going to click approach here. And I'll show you, we're going to go 3-4, but we're just going to do the ILS because you can see this is not advantageous. This one's not advantageous. It doesn't help us, these two. So we're just going to do, where it's a visual approach, folks, we're just backing up the ILS. So just bear with me. We're going to plug it in and get it ready. So what it'll do is it'll come straight down, and then we'll do a base to Theo. And we need to be at 2,000 feet over at Theo. The MSA at this airport, 25 nautical miles away, is 2,900 feet. So we could descend, once we're within that 25 nautical mile range, we know we're good at 2,900 feet. And basically going to fly an extended downwind here to Theo and then just go straight in. All right, we're going to cut all this crap out. We don't need to extend all this 4.5 miles away. We'll just go right to Theo, drop it in, and then we're good to go. We'll pick it up visual. That is going to be our plan. Do you have any problems or issues with that? Anybody? Does anybody have any problems? No. Good. Maybe. If you do, speak out. Because I miss stuff all the time. So I'm going to try to do pinned again. Now let's go to the Valerie 5. And we'll talk about an exit plan here. So we got DeLacy, we're going to go to Wheats and then break off of Wheats, and then we'll start descending down to that 20. We'll descend down to 5,000 from Wheats. Okay, and then we're pretty much on our own from there. So let's go ahead and set this up. When we come to arrivals and departures, we'll click arrivals. We're already on the Valerie 5, but we're going to break off and we're going to go to the ILS 3-4. No transition, click execute, go to the legs page. You've got this MEMS DNY Wheats. I want to stop right there, and I'm going to delete the rest. So what I'll do is I'll go next page. You can see this Basie, Harp, and then Jet Tax and Theo. Well, we're going to skip all that. Okay, and what we could do is a couple things. One, we can delete that. We're going to go ahead and delete Valerie. We're going to delete Basie. We're going to delete Harp. And we're going to delete Jet Tax. That's what I want. I want the discontinuity in there to Theo, and then we're going to hit execute. And Theo's at 2,000 feet. So you can see if we go to descent page and we click forecast, let's click the load. We're going to load the winds in, and it's going to start calculating our top of descent a little bit easier. And we're going to click execute. All right, there we go. So you can see the top of descent. It's going to recalculate. The computer's going to kind of crunch those numbers for us and figure out the best way to do it. Now you can see Wheats, it's just dead, right? There's nothing after Wheats, and that's because we're going to be vectoring ourselves. for this approach. Now, a couple things we're going to do. We'll go back to the next page here. Go to legs page. Go to next page. Go to next page. This runway 34 on the line select key 1 left, we're going to click that into the scratch pad. You can see now it's on 3-4. We're going to go click fix page, dump it in the top of there. You're going to do 4 things now. You're going to go /25. We're going to go /15. We're going to go /5. And really, I want to do /3. So we'll do that again here. Let's see if we can't get it in the scratch pad again. There. Go to fix. It might not let us, because I don't know if it's going to, yeah. /3. Now, what I've done here is I drew 4 rings around the airport. You could see that first 25 nautical mile ring. And why do you think I did that? Anybody know why I drew a 25 nautical mile ring? You guys should know why we do the 15, 5, and 3. And if you don't, it's because we want to keep our energy in the correct profile. And we do that visually by looking at the rings. And we know exactly what airspeeds and flap configuration we need to be at certain distances from the airport. Which is nice, right? Because this airplane will not come and slow down at the same time. So guess what? You got to be very, very on top of your game when you do things like that. I do want to put in the approach frequency, and we'll dial in the CTAF frequency as well. So let's go ahead and do the approach 109.7. So come down with me over on this panel, and we will do this nav one. You can see it's already plugged in. That's because we fly this all the time. 109.7 is in there. We're going to go ahead and set this to 343, and the course is already set. So you can see I never reset the course coming into Detroit. It was a visual, so I just flew it visual. Mike Holmes says, I do 10 and 4. Yeah. And that's good. We at Coastal, it's our op specs, our procedures, our protocol to do 15, 5, and 3. And we're doing the 25 nautical miles to help us with the MSA. So we know we're within that 25 nautical mile range or so, we can generally descend down to 2,900. And the reason why I'm doing that is because there's no ATC on. So we have to play air traffic controller here, and we have to do it ourselves, essentially. Okay, so that's kind of what we're doing when we do that. And then the 15 nautical miles, the 5 nautical miles, and the 3 nautical miles. When we hit 15 nautical mile ring, we've got to be slowing to flap up maneuvering speed. All right, which is going to be about flap 5, 200 knots. When we hit the 5 nautical miles, generally speaking, we'll go gear down, flap 15. When we get to 3 nautical miles, we definitely want to be configured full. So you want your flaps in there, all your dirt, all your gear down, everything ready to go. And all you have to do at that 3 nautical mile range is a checklist, and then you're done. That's kind of how we do it at Coastal. Every airline flies their aircraft differently, but that's how we do it here. So a lot of airlines flying the 7-3 they don't go jump straight to flap 5. They might go flap 1. What happened to my sound? What is going on? I lost sound. Did you guys lose sound? What the crap happened? My sound's gone. Oh no. Your sound's gone too. You can't hear it. All right. How do we get the sound back? It looks like we're still flying. So that's good. But why can I not get my sound? Is it on this computer or on that computer? Let me find out. Something is amiss. Oh, crud. I need my keyboard and I can't find my keyboard. Well, my keyboard's all the way over there to get it. So let me see if I can kind of sneak this up. Okay. Headphones. That's where I wanted that. Ah, okay, I heard that. Okay, maybe it is the other computer. I can hear you, but no sim. Okay. So maybe it's the simulator acting up weird. So how do we do this without crashing this thing? Do we go sound? Let's try this. Man, I thought that was going to do it. All right, let's go to general options and let's take a look at sound. I don't know. On. Volume levels are set. Is there like, you guys know if there's like a sound main output device? It should be set to default. There's a couple things we can do. Let's just get out of here. I'm just going to click discard and let's try that again. Okay, we are flying here, folks, but it's just weird. Let's try. I got nothing. I got nothing. All right, let's try this. No. Nope. Okay. The problem is I don't know if it's my computer or what. I'm going to try something really quick. Just bear with me because I'm going to try to see if I can't get sound first on this computer. So if I can get sound, then I generally know it is, I don't know, let's just do this. I'm just going to try to pull up like a YouTube video or something. I don't know. See if
Every
I can
lunch
hear it.
for the past 2 months, I've been eating Huel
You
instant
hear
milk
it
cups,
too. You
and
hear that ad. So that is not the computer. So we definitely, shoot, I need to descend. Hang on just a minute. I got to fly the aircraft still, right? So let's go ahead and get that done. And boop. I got to boop the button and we're on the way down. So let me just get this thing configured. Oh man, it sucks, doesn't it? Yeah, it's weird. My flight sim crashes often on Xbox. Yeah. Does it? My MSF crashes often on Xbox. Okay, but crashes. I got it. This is something stupid. You know, this is some dumb thing that I'm going to try to do. The computer is working. We've got sound on the computer and know it's the simulator. So let's see if we can't get this sim to work. All right, we're good on that. We're good on that. All right, let's try just doing one more thing here. I know. Everybody's like, don't do it. Don't do it. I know what you're saying. Let's try this. Click OK. And let's try this and click OK. And then I'm going to save it. I got nothing. All right, try it one more time. It's going to suck if I don't have sound, folks. You know, it's generally a bummer here. System's default device. So why didn't that communication output selection? I don't want to worry about that, but now let's go ahead and try to do this default. Click OK. Let's see if we can't save this. And let's see if this. We got it. We are the champions. Holy crap, we're 1,400 feet above profile now. All right, we got to catch it. Seatbelt signs coming on. Folks, that's just Simmer's luck. What that is. Okay, speed brakes are out. We're on the way down, and we're cruising DNY. You can see we're 1,500 miles of 1,500. We're 1,500 feet above profile. Brakes are out. Seatbelts are on. And now we are dropping to the deck. Here we go. Yeah, we're back. That's right. I hate it when it does that. It's the first time I've actually done that. All right, we're doing good on our profiles here. We got our weather plugged in there. We got our data ready to go. We'll run our descent checklist here through it. And we are heading back in. $630 miles. Let's go auto brake. We're going to go ahead and set our auto brake to max. Boop. Now you don't have to worry about brake heating up. You are going to heat the brakes on this landing, but the good news is we're not that heavy, and the airplane doesn't have to go out after this, so we can let the brakes cool down all day long on the ramp tomorrow. We will fly this airplane down to Sarasota we'll do a repo flight, which the company's got to pay for, not us. It's the charter. The company that's chartering us from Sarasota is going to be paying for the reposition. Now we have 2 MD-80s parked in Fort Lauderdale. The problem with that is, okay, brakes coming out. The problem with that is that the MD-80s are configured for 60 people. They're not configured for 120. So we're taking 120 people. I can't pull an 800 off the line or a 700 off the line, so it's going to be this 900. So that's kind of where we're at. All right, if you're just joining us, we're starting our descent into the Westchester Airport. I'm going to go ahead and get the Westchester CTAF frequency. I think it's going to be just that one frequency of, yeah, it's just tower of 118.575. So 118.575. Let's go over here, check that out. 118.575. Let's get that plugged in now. That's one last thing we have to do, right? 118.575. All right, what's the landing rate? Anybody know? Anyone want to take a guess what my landing rate's going to be today? We don't know. I can't tell you. I mean, I could tell you. ACARS. So I got to get my thing working. It's not working. 575, right? Okay, bro. All right, this is. Come on, dude. There we go. Hard to see when you can't see. 118.575. I'm just gonna go ahead and plop that in there now. There we go. And then I'll take it right back off. 20,000 on profile. After meets, we're gonna head south. And we'll go radar vectors. We'll basically fly it south. Shelton, you've got too much trust in me, man. 185. Mike's is 255. Mike's probably in the range where it's going to be. No, but what matters most? Is it where we land or how hard we land, right? What matters the most? Where we land matters the most, right? That's what matters the most to me, is where we put this thing down. Let's try to see if we can plan it on the marks. I'm going to try to put it on the marks, folks. I'm going to try to get it right where we need to get it. Okay. You can see our rings right there. Laid out nice. And we have got a frequency of 29.70. 29.70. Did I say that? Okay, 29.70 is in there, and our minimums, it's going to be field elevation, so 401 feet. So I'm just going to set the barrel to 401 just to let us know that's the field elevation. That's a coastal specific procedure as well. So after Wheats, we're going to go ahead and go southbound, pretty much direct to it. And we should be good to go. Through 20,000, we'll turn all of the lights on here at 18,000. And this is it, folks. Job well done, right? Feels good to be getting this thing done. The season is over. I cannot believe it, for us at least. the season. I know there's hockey to be played. There's maybe 5 games left, but the season is over. For this guy, for this airline, the hockey season is over for the Rangers. I don't have to go anywhere else on the regular season. It was a ton of fun, a lot of flying. Probably the most memorable flight for this season was getting all the way out to those Western trips at the beginning of the season. Do you guys remember? If you watch this channel and you look at the playlist that we did, the beginning of the season, folks, I mean, the first week we were on the road, and we were on the road all the way into Vancouver. So that was memorable because it was a long flight out there. It was like, weather was crappy. It was snowing. I cannot remember if it was snowing. Well, we were up in Canada, so 3416. So we're gonna want to put this thing to 160, and that's gonna put us on a direct downwind. You can see. I want to just turn this side. Maybe go 180. Not right there. You don't want to keep it too dang far, so that's going to be good. All right, 172 in the heading. Here we go. We're passing 18,000, so we're going to go ahead and click 2970, and let's turn on our lights. These are coming on, not flight. They're on continuous and continuous. We're going to go ahead and turn on the. Let's see if that works. No, this panel is completely dead on the bottoms here. Landing lights. I'm going to throw those on. Logo lights, wing lights, logo lights are on. I'll throw the taxi light on for now. Nothing will happen until we get the gear down. You can see we're heading all lit up now with our logo lights on. We're heading down the Hudson here soon. Good stuff. Okay, folks, down the Hudson River. Now, one thing we're going to do is turn on our terrain feature, and that's going to help us really take a look at the terrain as we start our descent. So now we're off of speed. We got to control our own speed, and then we're going to work the descent checklist right now. Just give me 1 second, and I'll get that rolling here. Okay, altimeters, altimeters and bugs, they are set and checked and noted. VRF and VTARG is set and noted. Auto brakes on maximum. I'm going to slow the aircraft down, so just going to get it to good speed, about 270-ish. We're still pretty far away, so. Auto brakes max, start switches on continuous, recall complete coming in. Good. Descent checklist is complete. Let's just check the. Good. We're coming down now. The reason why it's not doing anything is because we're not on a VNAV path. Okay. So what I'm going to do is set this to level change, and I want to hold about 270 on the way down. Okay. Because we're not on VNAV anymore. So we completely took it off a VNAV. Excuse me. And I'm descending at this nice slow speed. And you can see where that ring is. See that ring's going to be? That's going to let us know we're at 7,000 feet. And I want to descend down to 5. Right about there. Hang on. There's 5,000. So what I'm going to do is we're descending. See that green banana line right there? We're going to be at 5,000 feet. It's going to be perfect. This is going to go really well for us. The heading is good. I like the heading. We're going to keep the heading as is. Jack Center is the only one online. We're passing through right now Newburgh, so just show you where we are. Sorry. We could see kind of, we're going to, almost the Hudson River down here, folks. So we're going to kind of just go down through the Hudson and then turn in. And I know they do this a lot because I track their real world flights. So Canada rocks. Mike says Canada. It does. It was awesome. It's good stuff. So we're about 800 feet above profile, but you wouldn't want to go nuts here because even though it says we're above profile, that's not the case, all right? Because we're completely off, and we are in the soup coming up, folks. Look at that. So what we're going to do is turn on our engine anti-ice. What are we looking at? -2. So here it comes. TAI, both thermals are coming on. 1, 2 on the NDs. So that means our engine anti-ice is lit. And as we hit the clouds, here we go, in the soup. Remember I said we're going to be descending into this stuff? Well, here we go. Shouldn't be too bad. Okay, we're going to slow down to 250 on the speed. Watch, the airplane's going to pitch up. You can help it if you'd like to, but you don't need to. Jackson, what's up? Have you shot the ILS RW into LaGuardia? Runway 4 into LaGuardia. Have you shot? Of course. Yeah, you can't use... Jackson says, did you see the earthquake out there? I did. I did see the earthquake. Well, I heard New York got a 4 point something. I have shot the ILS runway 4 in LaGuardia. The interesting thing about that is you cannot have a coupled approach. So, which means you can't have the autopilot on in that. Very unique, right? So they have you turn off the autopilot. It's a non-auto-coupled approach, which means you're hand flying that thing in, which is wild. I did see something about Southwest that almost hit the dang... Did you guys see that? Southwest almost hit the terminal, not the terminal, the tower. It was way off center, and they were coming in on for the ILS 4, and they were basically beelining right for the tower. And tower called them up and was like, "You are not close." And so there's Theo. So as we get closer, we're within the 25 nautical mile range. So that's good. That means we could be at 2,900 feet, not worry about hitting mountains or anything like that. And we got the terrain on as well, so that's going to help us. I like this. This is a nice path to fly. Theo, that thing that's lit up, that's what we're going to head up to. So we're looking at Theo. And we're going 250 through 8,000 feet. We'll have to start slowing down when we hit that 15 nautical mile range. I do want to start slowing down, being a little more aggressive on the descent. So there's that 15 nautical mile range. I still don't want to be too crazy. And you can see in front of the aircraft right now, folks, that straight ahead, that blank, that's the Hudson River. So basically going to be flying this Hudson River all the way down. And I'm going to turn off the engine anti-ice. We're through the clouds, so we don't need them on now. It's going to deliver more power if we had to do a missed approach or go around or something. Another thing I'm going to want to do, oh shoot, is knock my dang throttle off. I'm going to get that on for you, and I'm also going to drop in my HUD. Now, I like flying the HUD at night for sure. I like flying the HUD during the day too. And I'm going to push this to VMC. There we go. So right now, there we go. VMC and backing out on primary. 6,000, you can see what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come back on the throttle a little bit to 4. We're going to drop it down to 29. And you can see the green banana. Where's that green banana? Right? It's way out there. How do we get that closer? Well, we're going to pull the brake. Be a little more aggressive on the descent here. So we're going to pull the brake. The airplane's going to start descending at a quicker pace. And we'll start slowing up to flap up maneuvering. There's the airport. Airport's in sight. It's right there. Got it? It's beautiful down here, folks. Now you can see that's too aggressive, so I'm going to pop the brakes back up. Because I don't want to descend that quick, that soon. And then we're going to start squaring off our... You can see that 5 nautical mile ring. We don't want to be, cutting it. We want to be like right there. That's perfect. Kind of get us on a downwind. And I'm going to call up right now. Westchester traffic, Riptide 5803. on a downwind, runway 34, approximately 10 miles to the north. When is your next line check? Jackson, my next line check for, so I think I'm in December-ish? Maybe? All right, 240. Now I do want to slow down to flap up maneuvering about midpoint of the runway here. The airplane's going to level off. Don't throw flap out yet, because we're just going to burn fuel when we do that. And we're going to drag it in if that's the case. There she is in all of her glory. Look at that. Beautiful. Great visibility. You know, I'm looking at the below, and you know, you could see your terrain features. Everything is green, which is good. Green is good. Red is not. Yellow is not. So we're doing all right. All right, there's 1,000 to go. Watch, the airplane's going to level off. Then we'll start slowing down to 210. And we're going to roll this thing out on 5 nautical mile legs. So we're going to give us, we're going to give us the best chance here. We can also just extend it just a little bit if we need to. But I generally don't want to do that because it's just going to burn more fuel, and that's what I don't want to do here. So we'll see if we can get it stable. I think we've got a good kick here. We're kind of doing a slam dunk if you're thinking. Like, what are you doing? We're kind of slam dunking the thing. Okay, we're going to bring it down to flap up maneuvering speed. So watch the level off. We're going to let the airplane level off. We'll let the aircraft drag just bring the speed down. Now we're through 230. You can throw flap in if you needed to. But there's no point, right? We're just going to drag it if we did that. So I don't need to do that until we're really a beam. And I'm just looking for this dang airport. Where are you? Where'd you go? It's probably right in the middle of my A-pillar there. I can't see it. Son of a gun. I can't get around it. Let me see out the wing. Okay, there's the thrust. Remember, so if you would have dropped your flap in there, you'd have been like dragging it in. You don't want to do that. So we're going to go 2,000 feet right now. Set. You could do level change if you like. Okay. But I'm just going to keep it where it is. I'm just going to hold 2,900 until we start our roll in. We're going to be making a left turn now. Again, we got to keep it tight because LaGuardia is right here. You could see it. So there's LaGuardia. JFK is down there. You've got Republic. This is just nothing but congestion. Okay? So I hope this plan works. We're going to hit the sound. Here's the Long Island Sound. So what we're going to do is we're going to start rolling the aircraft over. I just want to kind of wait just till I can't stand it anymore, and then we'll roll the aircraft over. Okay? Just like, again, we're setting ourselves up on the downwind for about a 5 nautical mile leg for a final approach. We do not want to go. Technically, we can go over the sound, which is fine, but we don't want to keep going. It's a beautiful night. And why would we keep doing that? So we're going to square it up like that. Now we're going to go flap 5. And then we're going to slow down to 190, 180 on the speed. And then I'm going to do a level change descent. Okay, and then I'm going to arm the speed brake here. So speed brake is coming armed. We got a green light. Here come the flaps. Got the airport in sight. All right, in the turn, 180 coming down. Beautiful. This is going to be nice, folks. It's going to be nice. We're squaring this thing up. Keep on squaring it up. Good. 2,000 coming down. Once I got a visual, I'm kicking it all off, and I'll take over. Where's the wind? Look at that. 26 knots. So I'm going to turn into it. See that wind? Woo! So we want to kind of turn into it because it's going to push us out. So we're going to cut that crab angle because the wind is pushing us away from the center line, and we don't want to do that. So I kind of want to square it up, make it 30. I see the runway right there. 30-degree-ish intercept. 2,000 feet. We're perfect. 180 on the speed, looking good. We're going to go ahead and set flap 15 here shortly. I've got a visual on the runway. It's right here. Now, it's a pretty significant crosswind, it's 26 knots. So as you can see, I got to keep turning because it's pushing us away. We're kind of not squared up, but that's okay because of that wind. It's actually almost right up and down the runway. It's going to be pretty nice. Okay. Well, looking good. We can take over if you want. I'd like to do that, actually. So I'm going to set this to 0. That's another op spec thing with Coastal Airways here. We're going to go set this to 0. Gear coming down, flap 15. We're going to slow down to 15 speed. I've got the aircraft. Autopilot's off. Here we go. On the roll. There we go. Correct the altitude a little bit. There we go. Man, the airplane ballooning because I had a lot of speed up there. Westchester traffic, Riptide 5803 on a final runway 34 Westchester. Okay, flap 25. What did we say on the speed, folks? 139. All right, let's fly the airplane. I'm all over the sky. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go flaps 40. We're going to do landing checklist. Let's get the thing ready to go here. Okay, speeds up. Remember, I want it slightly higher. Up and down the runway. I'm just trying to get a good look. I'm correcting on my VRAF right now, so I'm bringing up the speed. Throttle's coming in. There we go. Okay, speed brake is on, green light. Landing gear is down 3 green. Flaps 40 green. And we're good to go. Okay, looking good right there. That's probably a good crosswind correction. You can see we're in a slight crab over. .340 feet a minute. Maybe, I mean, dude, this is a 900, so you can't flare the airplane. You just got to kind of hold it at about 5 degrees and just let it sink. I'm going to keep my speed in. Again, we're on the high side. That's okay. You don't want to do a duck under because it's at night. You can't see anything. Like, these are trees. There's trees everywhere. But now I'm slightly high. I don't want to be too high. So I'm fast. I'm high. There we go. I'm just getting pushed off the center line. There we are. That's too much of a sink. There we are. Getting in these fugoids. We did turn our lights on, right? There's 12. I'm going to start taking some correction out. Whoop, there's a sink. Speed's in. Hit some turbulence there on the approach.
50.
Okay, I'm going to start correcting right now. Dropping that wing, holding that attitude. Hold the attitude. There it is. Rudder. Aileron into the wind, just a little bit. 2 in reverse, off the brakes. 60, I'm out. And like I said, it's just, you know, a lot of you are like, well, that was a really aggressive, you know, you're at max auto brake. Yeah, because one, I want to stop the airplane. I really don't care about comfort at this point, not at this airport. It's not about comfort, not here. This is about stopping. Well, folks, welcome to Westchester. We made it. Yeah, we'll take a look at the descent rate. Yeah, flaps 40 for sure. There's no way I'm going to go flaps 30 at this airport. Not in a 900. There is no 700. Yeah, but even then I wouldn't have done it in a 700. I wouldn't have went straight up 40. You're going to see a lot. You're going to see that a lot from me, folks. Is where I'm more err on the side of caution than anything. Just because you want to stop. You don't want to sit there and dilly-dally and, oh, let's flare the airplane till we bleed off all of our speed. That's not going to happen with me. It's just you're gonna know we've touched down. All right. So this is a pretty quick taxi. We got to cool down the engines. I'm going to sit here for a minute. I'm actually going to turn the dome lights on dim so I can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to come over here, just check it out. We've got window heats off, probe heats coming off. Okay. Now you can see we're in auto probe heat, so that's why we just flipped the switches. Okay, that's good, that's good, that's good. The APU is coming online. Okay, and then we'll call for our GSX guy. Well, congratulations, right? Congratulations are in order, I think. I think a job well done. Thanks to Sean for really setting us up and, you know, doing this whole season. It's a lot of work. Sean does a lot of work with all of the prep that he has to do. You know, what services are required, where are we parking, when are we leaving. Sean has to write up contracts, paperwork. So thank you to Sean and the team for making this happen, because folks, it's not easy. I mean, it's not just we're throwing a dart and saying, oh, let's fly to Detroit and everything. It doesn't work like that. All right, strobes are coming off. I got to do that. That's my next thing I need to do. Shut the strobes off because my panel's not working. Okay, we're on. Cheesed it indeed. All right, let's see how we did on the landing, folks. Let's go and check it out when we get in here. I got to turn the taxi lights off. I want to blind our dude. And I would tell the Rangers, I'd say, you know what? Job well done, folks. We'll see you guys in the playoffs. Where are we flying? That's the key. It could be Washington. It could be Florida. It could be Detroit. All right. Oh, come on. I'm that short. Yeah, we want to at least cool the engines down for about 3 to 5 minutes if you could. I'm just going to inch this thing up, and then we'll see how we did on our landing. All right, that's good enough for me. I'm going to throw the brake on. Shutting down number 2. We're on the APU. Shutdown number 2. Number 1's coming down. Lights are belts off. 1, 2, 3 off. Coming over the overhead. Electrics off. Bam. And the last thing we're going to do is throw the packs off. It's beautiful at night out here. I don't need anything on. And then lastly, let's turn the anti-collision light off when we get a good, when the N2 dips below 19. There we go. Anti-collision light is off too. Anti-light is off. Wing is off. Logo stays on. Let's go ahead and get a hookup. So I want to get a hookup on the aircraft. And we'll tell them to deplane us. We'll tell them also to hook up the request deboarding. And we're going to drop down here and throw the chocks on the aircraft. So we're going to set our chocks. We're going to go ahead. They're actually going to connect the stairs up to us. Yeah, look at that. We've got 60 passengers on this airplane, so it's going to go like that pretty quick. What rate do we get? Oh, we'll find out. Just a minute. I've got to look at my, we got to do our ACARs. So I'm going to do that here in a minute. We'll see what kind of rate we got, and then we're done for the day. Let's see if the door pops open. I'm waiting for the door. Okay, once that door clears, let me call for ground power. Again, I'm burning fuel. I don't want to burn fuel, so just give me a second. Let me get the ground power hooked up on the airplane. And ground power requested. They're going to connect the ground unit. Once we got a blue light over here, we know it could take, we got a good connection. What that blue light tells us, we've got ample power and it's healthy. We're going to go ahead and connect it on the aircraft. Bam. All right. And then we're going to shut the APU off. so I can stop burning fuel. I'm going to throw the fuel pump off. All right, let's go outside now, and let's take a look at our landing rate. How's that? So our landing rate, let's show you folks. Matter of fact, let me just, let's see what we got here. All right. You ready for this? The landing rate was 195, folks. So I do have to file the flight plan still, but I mean, do have to, I'll show you right here, right there. Landing rate, 195 feet a minute. But where do we touch down? Did we touch down at the place I wanted to? You would have a better view than I did. I think we probably put it down with the first 1,500 feet of runway, which I really wanted to do here. You don't want to mess around. I'm going to file the PIREP now. It's in the books. We got paid. And our passengers are walking through the aircraft, which is interesting. I got to, it's not configured for a 737-900. It's configured for an MD-80. So, by the way, our MD-80 is parked in a, all the way down here in a hangar somewhere. But that's it. That's awesome. Very close. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Good job, folks. Well, it was fun. Long hockey season. I'm sad it's over. I mean, but the playoffs are just getting started, and that's what we play for, is the playoffs. Playoff flying is fun because it's not like regular season. It's a little more lax. We get to fly down there. We spend 2 days down there, and then we fly back. So it's really not that bad. It's really nice. I don't know where we're going to be playing, though. So like I said, it could be anywhere. And if you folks hang on just a minute, I'm going to show you the real aircraft and where that thing is. They are right now, I'll show them on the map. They are just passing MEMS. Remember that waypoint? They just hit Jamestown and they're passing MEMS. They're upstate New York, and their ETA is they're descending. They're going to be arriving in 27 minutes. What would be cool is if we turn on FSLT and we can see them land. That'd be pretty sweet. Yeah, I appreciate you. Yeah, that was pretty, Shelton, that was pretty good, dude. I gotta say, that was pretty good. Usually with the 900, I'm planting it on the ground, but that was a pretty good, I guess that was a good landing. We'll take it, right? Good stuff. That's why I like to take over early on the, when you're in a visual, just take over early because then you get the feel of the wind and what it's doing. And when you're on the autopilot, you can't get that feel until you kick it all off, and you can really feel, all right, the airplane's drifting on you, little course corrections. Definitely take the auto throttle off, folks. Like, just one thing before you go, you future pilots out there or pilots now, do me a favor. When you're coming in on an approach, on a visual, kick it off. And I'm talking about the auto throttles. You should not have on the auto throttles because when you kick it all off, you get to push the throttles up and down, right? And that helps you. Those little itty bitty increments of power help you with descent rate. We all know that. So there was a crash that happened with an American Airlines, and it's on my site. That I did a feature of it, and they're done already. They're all finished. Boop, done for the night. I'm going to shut her down. Where he kept the autopilot, the auto throttle on all the way to at least 50 feet. Then he kicks it off. Well, that's not good because the auto throttle is just going to keep you going. You're not going to pull a little power. You can sink a little bit better. You can push a little power in. It's going to buoy you up a little bit better. That's what the auto throttle does. I mean, that's what the throttle does when you have control. So, man, yes, I do want to deboard the crew. We're going to get both of us, and we're off to the hotel. Now, tomorrow, we have to repo this airplane. It's going to Sarasota. I've got the paper. Sean's got to write up the paperwork for it. We're going down to Sarasota. Again, this is a company that we got to fly to Baltimore. So it's going to be from Sarasota to Baltimore. That'll be next week's stream. That'll be another 900 flight. And then let me know. You guys dictate, tell me what you want to see this summer when hockey season's over. No auto throttle for me. Yeah, so you fly in the CRJ. I love that airplane. I don't care what anybody says. That airplane is fun. You know, maybe not the auto throttle part up at cruise. That kind of a pain in the neck where you just want to set it and forget it. But um, it's a fun airplane to fly. Anyway, so where are we going to do next? Like I said, so Jackson, good question. We're going to be heading down to SRQ. So tomorrow I'll be flying down to Sarasota. We do have great scenery for it. I've never been down there yet. We're going to be picking up a company. We're 120. We get 120 people. We're going to be taken up to Baltimore on a charter run, and then we got to fly them back. So it's going to be a up. We're going to repo down, fly it back up, fly it back down, fly it back up. So it's going to be at least 4 legs up and back because we got to reposition this airplane up here just for when the playoffs start. I think after the playoffs are over, we're going to return this aircraft back to the lesser just because it's just too dang much money for us. It's costing us too much money a month. It's $250,000 a month. That's a lot. So yes, I've got the sound pack for the CRJ and I absolutely love it. You want to see, okay, I want to see you fly in the Provo. Good. So, Jonathan, I don't know if you heard me before, but if you did want to fly for Coastal, if you wanted to be locked in an RJ in the CRJ, we have 4 of them in our fleet. 50 hours on VATSIM now. We're dropping so usually to get into the 737 fleet, it's 200 hours VATSIM. We've dropped down to 50 for the CRJ, and you still have to go through training, but it's not as crazy or as intense. You still got to you do have to do an interview with us and stuff like that if you wanted to, fly the CRJ with us. Then you can always upgrade into the 7.3. You'd have to do the 7.3 training, but just to give you an idea of the route we're flying in the CRJ out west, it is awesome. I flew a proving flight this last week. Matter of fact, I want to be doing another one, but just to let you know, I'm going to show you where we're going. It is awesome. The route is really, really cool. So we're going to start off. It's a 2-day. You got to start off in Miami, but you'll do a deadhead. So you'll fly deadhead over to Salt Lake. So our CRJ crews will just deadhead over there. So it's a 2-day from Salt Lake, right? So technically it's a 4-day, but you're only flying 2. So our first flight, we got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So this is what the airplane does on Monday. Monday we go Salt Lake City down to St. George, Utah. Then we go from St. George, Utah over to Ontario. Then Ontario we go up to Monterey. Then from Monterey we go to SBA, which is Santa Barbara, and then you overnight in Santa Barbara. So that's day 1 of your flying. That's a Monday, right? Tuesday's flight, you go from Santa Barbara back to St. George. Then we go from St. George over to Salt Lake. Then Salt Lake, you're going to go to West Yellowstone only on May 1st. That's a seasonal flight. We go to West Yellowstone, back to Salt Lake City. And then you go from Salt Lake. Now, this is a fun one. BCE, Bryce Canyon Airport. Now, that airport is not a Class 1 airport. That airport doesn't have any AFFF in it. It doesn't have any of that. So we had to get special permission. We had to call the fire department, get them trained into firefighting and rescuing in our airline, in a 70-seater. It's a 75-foot wide runway. It's fun, man. It's a fun airport to fly into. I just did it the other day. It's really cool. And then, of course, we'll have our fire teams there when we land. We have to call them ahead of, when we're in Salt Lake and say we're heading over. We'll be there in about 45 minutes. And then we go from Bryce back to Salt Lake. So this one, and then you're done. So that's day 2. And then the PM shift, hang on. So this right here This right here, SBA, St. George to Salt Lake to West Yellowstone, and back to Salt Lake. You're done. That's the AM shift. Then you have a PM shift that gets on about 1500, so about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The PM shift starts, and they go from Salt Lake, Bryce Canyon, and back. And then it's probably going to be Salt Lake to, I don't know if we're going to go Glacier or not. I'm still working that out because it's going to be a night flight, so I don't really want to fly our crews to Glacier National Park at night. I'd rather fly them a bigger airport with a little less terrain or something like that. So I'm still working on that PM shift on the last two. Any takers? We're in Salt Lake. Any ideas on where you'd want to fly? We're couple criteria. You got to have good scenery. It's got to be competitive in terms of it's got to have, we got to make money on the route. So I'm thinking about Boise. Boise might be fun. Might be a good little ride. Salt Lake to Boise direct, back to Salt Lake, and then you're done. The PM shift is over. And that's just Tuesday. Wednesday, then they would fly that St. George route. Thursday is the same. Friday, Saturday the same. Sunday is going to be a completely different day. So Sunday is going to be probably one crew, and they'll fly just up and around. I don't know. We'll see. Boise. Yeah, I'm thinking Boise. I love the corn clipper routes. Yeah, they're fun. You got 1,400 on VATSIM? Jeez. Yeah, we're hiring. Jackson, you need to get in here, man. Yeah, it's good stuff. Well, Boise should be a good airport because, you got to think it's at night. There's terrain. Well, there's terrain in Glacier's terrain in Boise too, but at least in Boise, you've got pretty good facilities, right? It's lit up. It's a bigger airport, and we can fill a CRJ easily going into Boise any day. We do service Boise. We service Boise in the 700, but we go from Jackson Hole, Wyoming to Boise. So we go Salt Lake, Jackson Hole, then Boise, Monterey, and then down to Ontario. So yeah, that would be fun. So our Sunday route is wide open. It's probably going to be an AM shift. We could probably do an AM shift, PM shift. I'm trying to maximize the CRJ, like in terms of aircraft utilization. I'm trying to get the aircraft utilization higher. And how you do that is you break it up in days. So it's every other day service because I only have one aircraft to do this. We have two, so we have a spare as well if we needed to. But yeah, Boise I was thinking of. Boise's got great scenery, vertical sim fly, they make it. So that's a fun one. It's only about an hour and 20 minutes tops. So really cool. You're flying to Salt Lake right now. It's cool. And then our other CRJ, so we have two right now working the East Coast. That's everyday service. And then we have really one more aircraft to put into service as well. And I don't know if it's going to be on the East End in Miami or if it's going to be somewhere else on the West. But I think we can, it's wide open is what I'm saying. And plus we got another 700. We got another 4 700s coming online, plus another 3 800s to get online. So the options, the route expansion is going to happen over the summer, and we are hiring. So if the CRJ thing you want to work, if you don't want to do all the training that's required with the 737, because there's a lot, then consider the CRJ. If you do want to fly the 73 and you do want to put the work in and all the effort that's required to get in, it's going to take grit to fly these things, the 7.3. You could get through training in 2 weeks, but you've got to have that discipline to do so. If you're short on time and you just like, yeah, I want to fly, but I don't have 4 months to dedicate to training, then consider the CRJ because it's half the amount of training. Really 3 flights and that's it, a check ride and you're in. As long as you have the hour requirements. The smart pirate said, I heard a rumor you got the offer from the Boeing CEO job. True story. It is true. Yeah. And the first thing I would do is I would say, we're going back to where we were good. And we're going back to what Boeing used to be, and that's building great, reliable aircraft. And it starts now. And if anybody's got a problem with that, get out. That's the first thing I would say. I don't care about anything else. The very first thing I care about is building reliable products. End of story. Are we good? That's I would lay that line right to the board and say, if you got a problem with that, then I don't care. I would definitely, that would be my message to the airlines, and say we're going back to what we used to be. And that's dang good products. Period. So I would scrap the Max, and I'd say, you know what? We're going to do, we'll finish the Max orders, whatever, but we're done. I would do a lot of, obviously quality control again. And they got a lot of work to do. And then I'd start a clean slate design for a 757, and I'd say, it's time to go head to head with the 321. I want to build an airplane that can get out of anything, that has so much power that the pilots will love it. And then the performance, airlines will love it with performance, with fuel burn. Yeah, it's a lot of work. I mean, it costs a ton of money. But that's what I would do if I was the CEO. Yes, you're right. The smart part. I think the 757 livery is going to look nice in a longer fuselage. Yeah, it's nice, man. I mean, he did a great job painting this aircraft. It is pretty. But again, this is costing us a mint. I'm going to be honest with you. This monthly payment stuff is killing us with this airplane. That's why the MD-80s, we own them outright. They're fly them until the wings fall off. It's just, no, I'm not being serious, but where we're starting, we almost had 2 in-flight shutdowns with those stupid things because they can't go over 3.5 hours. It's kind of rough. But we'll see. I mean, this is kind of a stopgap until we get the 5.7s in, and then anyway, we'll be flying it. Yeah, it all went wrong somewhere. It's just the money. Bigger fish on it. Yeah, it's a bigger fish. Bigger shark on the engine. The engine is the same though. I mean, I think it's just the software that's 27,000 pounds. I think it's a bigger engine. The motor is the same. Just a different software package. It's 27,000, 28,000 pounds of thrust. And then your fin's the same. The only thing that's different, I think, is just a wingspan, and they put 2 plugs forward and aft on the 800. I think they did take the pressure bulkhead and flatten it, so it's not a round pressure bulkhead anymore. It's just flat, which enabled them to push everything back in the galley, which then obviously push seats back. International charters. Yeah. Smart Pirate says, I was hoping on April 1st you might announce all Airbus fleet. I did, actually. I did say that with in our Discord, in our company Discord channel. Like, oh, we're going all Airbus, or something like that. They were like, yeah, right. They know me too well. And I'm not saying the Airbus is a bad airplane. It's just foreign to me. That's all. International flying, yes, it's coming. But I want you to think more international. We do fly international now. By the way, we got to revamp the entire Caribbean flights again. So that's coming this summer as well. We've got to just redo the whole thing. All right, we can't fly inter-island. So we have to go from it's going to be hub and spoke out of San Juan. So we're flying to the same islands, but we got to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth because we can't. We have to clear customs from the U.S. You can't have a U.S. carrier flying multiple island destinations in different countries. So we can't do that. So we're going to have to redo the whole dang schedule. So the Caribbean, everything is going to change in the Caribbean. And I don't know if we're going to be able to service that many islands again. So again, I got to sit down and maximize Monday through Thursday with our 600 fleet and see. There's our CRJ. It might go to the Caribbean. We'll see. Thoughts on a pilot slave? I've seen it, but I haven't downloaded it or anything like that. Maybe I'll look on YouTube. Um, I don't know what it's about. I think we do the same thing. Like at Coastal, I mean, you have to bid a trip and you fly that trip. And I'm not sure, we pay you and stuff like that. So I don't know any really much about it. I've got to research that. Yeah, turn and burn. That's what we're about, man. You got to hit that schedule. Cool. But that's what we got coming up. So we got CRJ flying. I've done a ton of it. Like I said, we got Sunday wide open. If you guys have any suggestions of airports that you'd like to see out of Salt Lake, let me know. Just thinking of maybe, just right off the top of my head, right? I'm thinking Colorado Springs might be a good one to fly to for that Sunday flight. Then it'll be a once a week thing. That's the only problem. It would be a once a week flight. Maybe we go Salt Lake direct Ontario on a Sunday. We do that anyway with a 700 during the week, but we can supplement that with another capacity, added capacity to Ontario. What time tomorrow? It's basically what you guys do, just you have a personal economy and have to buy plane licenses. I gotcha. Yeah. Um, Spokane. Oh no, EGE, we fly there. We fly there already. We fly there with the 700. We fly to Eagle County. So we actually go from, I think we go from Ontario to Eagle County in the 700. It's a fun ride, and it's on the YouTube. It's on our YouTube channel on FSBN. If you look at the playlist, and it's one of those. I think I did an all-day stream. It's one of those all-day streams out west where we go to Boise and then yeah, we do like a 2-day. It's crazy. What time tomorrow? I'll be filming that flight. We are going to go to Glacier National Park. That's on the list. That's probably going to be that might be our Sunday route. That would be a good one. Maybe we go Salt Lake Glacier, back to Salt Lake, and then over to Colorado Springs and back, and then call it done. So it's a 4-leg trip, and then maybe we do a PM shift that gets on in the afternoon and flies. But the airplane's got to return to Salt Lake that night for the next morning. Yeah. Um, we've got a couple of good ones. Also, you have to apply to airlines, and depending on your experience, you'll get accepted or denied. That's basically what we do when we have your interviews. Um, Mike says GEG, Y-E-G, which isn't that Winnipeg? That's Winnipeg, isn't it? Canada. Here's the deal with Canada, and I'm going to just be real honest with you. It is so expensive to operate in and out of Canada. It is. It's just the fuel pricing is insane. I've done the math, man. It is pricey. I thought LaGuardia is bad. Canada's just as bad as like a LaGuardia. The taxes, the fuel cost is just astronomical. It's pretty darn high, depending on the airport. But that doesn't mean we do service Canada. We go up to Nova Scotia. We service Canada in the summer with the CRJ, right? That's a fun route up, goes all the way up the coast. It's super cool. I love that route. PSP Palm Springs, we don't fly there yet, but that's on the list. Tom Hortons Dunkin' Donuts, yes, it's good stuff. Tanker the fuel, take it with you before you go. That is sorry, Mike, that's Edmonton. Yeah, Edmonton be fun. That's a fun airport to fly into, but I got to see. I will tell you this: we are looking at BFI and in a 700. So Boeing Field is on the list out of Salt Lake in the 737-700. So that is coming to the main line. Is BFI. There's a couple really cool airports that we're going to start servicing up to the northwest. That's one of them. So yeah, I mean it's going to be fun. The westward expansion is going to be awesome. Same with the east, where Bermuda's on the list out east. Colombia's on the list. You just said international. Well, guess what? You see this 900 here? That might be going to the Columbia. We might throw that on a route and head from Miami to Columbia or something like that. So really cool stuff ahead. Lots of proving flights we've got to do this summer. BFI would be good, maybe BLI. I think BFI and BLI are a little too close to each other, so it's one or the other. And Billingham, I think that was, right? Yeah, Jackson, you see we could tanker it up. Sure, we can tanker up the fuel. The thing is, the fuel cost is high. The landing fees are it depends on the airport. Let's just put it that way. It's pretty expensive operating out of Canada, but doesn't necessarily mean we couldn't. Like if we brought in an 800 there or something like that, we probably could justify the cost, right? I don't think it makes sense to, you could drop in a CRJ into there. It might not be cost efficient, right? Anyway, good stuff. All right, folks. I appreciate all of you. Tomorrow I'm flying. It will not be streamed live, but that flight tomorrow will be recorded for our members. So if you're a patron member or if you're on YouTube here as a member, and the memberships cost, you can do like $1 all the way up to 10 if you wanted to with our YouTube membership. So all of our members get to see everything in terms of all the other flights we've done. I mean, the whole season, you guys only get to see like a little bit of the seasons, on these. You didn't see the Detroit flight. Well, guess what? Our members do. They get to, it's all filmed. So every flight we take on Coastal, with the hockey at least, is filmed. So it's fun. Anyway, I'll cheese it into Salt Lake for you. There you go. Do that. I want a good landing into Salt Lake, man. You got plenty of runway, dude. That's the one thing about Coastal that a lot of people don't understand. And it's funny because we have a good time. If you have too soft of a landing, right? So if it's under 50 feet a minute, we're going to charge you a soft landing inspection, which could be like anywhere from a couple $100 to a couple $1,000. And it's coming out of your account, which is awesome. I had one pilot go, "Wait, you just charged me 30 grand," and I had to pay him back. So I'm like, "Why they charge you 30 grand for this?" I think it was a bug. And it happens. And if you hit it too hard, same thing. Hard landing check, you're going to be paying for it. So we kind of want you in a range, which is fun. Good stuff. Anyway, all right, folks. Next week, we'll see you in Sarasota. And for our members, you'll actually see this repositioning flight coming. So check us out. We go from Sarasota to Baltimore next week. Until next time, keep the blue side up and the brown side down. It has been a fun season, folks. Can't wait for the playoffs. We'll see where we're flying. All right. Till next time. We'll see you next week. If I can get there, it'd be awesome.